The first thing Yi Xiao did after his reincarnation was to invest his entire 2 billion assets into the game. Everyone thought Yi Xiao had gone mad. But what they didn't know was that this game would eventually descend into reality, and the attributes gained in the game would also affect his real body. For this, Yi Xiao didn't hesitate to sell all his assets and became the first player to recharge over 100 million. As the first player to recharge over 100 million, Yi Xiao received the unique hidden profession, God of Wealth. He also successfully obtained his first pet beast, a frog. Although this frog had no combat ability, it helped Yi Xiao quickly rise to become the world's #1. In the previous life, after the game descended, monsters ran wild, the world order collapsed, and the world became like hell. Yet, even in such chaotic times, the wealthiest playboy of Jiangsheng, Yi Xiao, still protected his fiancée, Qin Yinran, without hesitation. Yi Xiao not only spent a fortune hiring 10 top experts to help Qin Yinran level up, but also sold all his assets to buy her a legendary artifact. Whenever there was an opportunity or equipment, Yi Xiao always prioritized giving it to her. In this way, he poured his time, money, and effort into turning Qin Yinran, who knew nothing, into one of the divine-level experts of the Dragon Nation. Yi Xiao once thought that true love would be returned with true love. But little did he know, on the night of their engagement, she would personally rip out Yi Xiao's heart. Qin Yinran held the still-beating heart in her hand, looking down at him with disdain in her eyes. Yi Xiao, did you think money could buy my true heart? Did you think that by giving me resources, you could morally blackmail me? You're wrong. I accepted your gifts, but that doesn't mean I accepted your feelings. I'm not that cheap. All my accomplishments today are the result of my own hard work, step by step. The only person who understands my struggles in this world is Zhou Hong. Now, take your heart and give it to him. That way, when we're together, he'll be able to hear your heartbeat every day. Yi Xiao, are you moved now? At that moment, Yi Xiao's heart turned to ashes. No, Yi Xiao had no heart left. All those years of effort were just a one-sided wish. He thought he would die in pain and coldness, until fate intervened, giving Yi Xiao a second chance. When Yi Xiao opened his eyes again, he found himself back in the week before the game's arrival. At this moment, Qin Yinran looked at Yi Xiao with displeasure. Did you really think I needed your money? Let me tell you, Yi Xiao, I only took your money to spare your pride and face. Understand? If you don't let go, don't come looking for me again. Yi Xiao pulled himself out of his thoughts, glancing down at the bank card in his hand. It had 200,000 in it, the money he originally planned to give to Qin Yinran for her living expenses this month. Qin Yinran continued complaining. You have no idea the kind of torment I went through accepting your money. So many classmates said I was just after a rich second generation, but they have no idea I did it all for your good. Hearing this, Yi Xiao turned his head slightly and looked at her, thinking to himself, in my past life, I was such a fool. How could I fall for a woman like her? If it were the old Yi Xiao, hearing Qin Yinran say she didn't want to see him again, he would have panicked, tried to explain himself, and desperately found ways to make her accept the money. But now, Yi Xiao pushed her hand away and snapped, Get lost. I won't give you any more money. Not a single penny. Qin Yinran froze for a moment. Then she awkwardly said, Another one of your little tricks? Fine, I'll reluctantly accept your card this time, since you went through so much trouble. Yi Xiao calmly scolded her. Get lost. Now, immediately. Leave my sight. Hearing this, Qin Yinran shouted, Yi Xiao, how dare you talk to me like this? You'll regret it. Yi Xiao suddenly remembered that the shoes she was wearing were also bought by him. He raised her foot and took them off. Qin Yinran angrily cursed. Yi Xiao, don't think a couple of dirty pennies make you so great. You think this will make me submit to you? Remember what you've done. From now on, even if you kneel and beg me, I won't ever care about you again. Yi Xiao casually threw Qin Yinran's high heels into the trash can and coldly retorted, Well, thank heavens. I hope you never show up in front of me again. If you can back off, do it. Thinking back, I was such an idiot. How could I ever like someone like you? There was no time to deal with that green tea bitch anymore. Yi Xiao decided to settle things with her later. Right now, he had something more important to do, turning all his assets into cash and charging them into the game. According to the current timeline, the beta test of the Apocalypse game would begin in a week, and the recharge system would open briefly for the first 10 minutes. Yi Xiao had to gather enough funds before then. After returning home, Yi Xiao immediately called his cousin, Yi Lin, and told her that he planned to sell all his shares to her, with the condition that the deal must be completed within 5 days. Ever since Yi Xiao's parents died in an accident 10 years ago, the multi-billion-dollar company, Bolong, which they had built, was almost entirely divided up by relatives and friends. All that was left for Yi Xiao were a small portion of shares and assets that had been prearranged for him, totaling about 2 billion in value. Right now, the internal competition within the group was at its peak. Whoever got their hands on Yi Xiao's shares would hold the most power in the company. Therefore, Yi Xiao was sure that Yi Lin wouldn't hesitate for even a second. A week later, when the beta test of the Apocalypse game began, Yi Xiao immediately chose to enter the game. As a flash of white light engulfed him, Yi Xiao's consciousness was transported to the starting area of the game. His in-game name was the same as in his previous life. Yi Xiao chose Night Xiao. Next came the choice of profession. There were many starting professions in the Apocalypse game, such as warrior, knight, mage, and farmer. But Yi Xiao chose the most pay-to-win profession, Beastmaster. In his previous life, Yi Xiao had heard about a top-tier guild in the Great Xia Kingdom, who, relying on their numbers, offended a god-level Beastmaster. In retaliation, the Beastmaster brought his god-level pet, the Dark Wrath Dragon, and single-handedly wiped out the entire guild. Such a feat was beyond the reach of any other profession. However, while Beastmasters were powerful, their drawbacks were equally obvious. The cost of training and acquiring beasts was enormous, far beyond what an average player could afford. But for Yi Xiao, that wasn't even a consideration. After completing all the settings, Yi Xiao immediately clicked the recharge button without hesitation and pumped 2 billion into the game. Recharging so much money into the game would surely lead to others calling Yi Xiao crazy, but he knew this was a guaranteed profit. Congratulations! Because you are the first player to recharge over 100 million, the system has unlocked the unique hidden job reward. Upon recognizing the hidden profession, it has been automatically integrated. Congratulations! You have received your second profession, Wealth God. Before Yi Xiao could react, a flash of white light descended from the sky, and when the light faded, a frog appeared. The frog looked at Yi Xiao and said, I didn't expect that the one to unlock me would be such a young kid. I am Ebisu, your wealth advisor. Hearing this, Yi Xiao was speechless. A frog is a wealth advisor? Do you think you're selling financial products? The frog then snapped its fingers, showcasing its attributes. Primary talent. Wealth rolling in asterisk LV1. The most basic ability of the Wealth God is to generate wealth. The gold you carry on you increases by 1% every day. Penny Pincher LV1. As the Wealth God, you refuse to suffer any losses. After death, the gold and items on you will not drop. Fortune Beyond Measure LV1. As the saying goes, money nurtures the body. With vast wealth, your luck is exceptional, increasing your luck value by 50. Unmatched Charisma LV1. Even the ugliest person can suddenly look handsome if they are generous. You are full of charm, with a charisma value increase of 50. Wealth God's Power LV1. As a Wealth God, you also possess divine power. For every 1 million gold spent, a random attribute point is added, with a daily cap of 100. Yi Xiao read the panel information and was stunned. As expected of a hidden class, it had so many talents. Though none of them seemed directly combat-oriented, each one was a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Especially the wealth rolling in talent, which increases the gold you carry by 1% every day. With Yi Xiao's current 2 billion gold, he'd gain an additional 2 million gold every day. Then there's Wealth God's Power, where he could earn 20 attribute points every day for free. What does that even mean? This Wealth God class is way too OP. Suppressing his excitement, Yi Xiao immediately clicked to enter the newbie village. He was immediately teleported to newbie village number 9527, Flower Language Plains. In the Apocalypse game, players are randomly generated and a small number are born directly in the wild. Yi Xiao originally planned to find some small monsters to level up, but what he encountered was a large group of goblins, and they were level 5 goblin elite warriors. Level 5 elite warriors? How unlucky can I be? With Yi Xiao's current strength, should I fight or flee? The frog yelled, "Fight my ass, run. What are you waiting for?" The frog reacted quickly, darting away as soon as Yi Xiao froze in shock. Yi Xiao, seeing this, quickly followed, hastily running toward the main city. Just as they entered the city, a group of players cast strange glances at Yi Xiao. Someone really chose the Beast Master class? Yeah, I never expected it. And the beast is a frog. Ha! This Beast Master is hilarious. He tamed a frog. Hearing these mocking words, Yi Xiao immediately retorted angrily. Your beast is a frog. Your whole family is a frog. Yi Xiao, ignoring the players, walked straight into the heart of the main city. While the main city had plenty of beast masters for sale, Yi Xiao found them utterly uninteresting. This was because Yi Xiao's true goal was a hidden dungeon in the newbie village, where a dragon's lair contained a god-tier beast egg. Of course, with Yi Xiao's current strength, recklessly entering would be suicidal, so he needed to make some preparations. Soon, Yi Xiao arrived in front of a magnificent palace, the Supreme Hall. It was a powerful faction in the Apocalypse, with countless god-tier NPCs. After reaching level 100, players could unlock the final job promotion and obtain a letter of introduction from the city lord, granting them the ability to hire these powerful NPCs. Yi Xiao was still at level 1, so naturally, he was stopped by the gatekeeper, a grand archmage. Young man, this is not a place for you. Go back and train. Only after you receive the city lord's letter of introduction will the doors of the Supreme Hall open for you. Yi Xiao smiled faintly. Although I don't have the introduction letter, dear Grand Archmage, it seems you lost something a while ago. I'm here to return it to you. With a wave of his hand, countless shining gold coins cascaded from the sky, forming a golden waterfall that quickly piled into a small mountain in front of him. The sight made the Grand Archmage's eyes light up. Ah, now that you mention it, I did lose quite a few gold coins some time ago. Thank you for bringing them back to me. The Supreme VIP room is on the top floor. Please follow me. As expected, money worked wonders. Yi Xiao smiled knowingly. Yi Xiao quickly walked into the hall. On both sides of the hall, there were numerous night puppets around level 100. Just having one would be enough to dominate the newbie village, but these still failed to catch Yi Xiao's eye. Yi Xiao walked straight into the depths of the hall, soon reaching a bloodthirsty warrior clad in armor. Yi Xiao immediately said to him, I need to hire a god-tier guard. The Blood Fury warrior was momentarily stunned. A god-tier guard is incredibly precious. How could it be rented out? Yi Xiao calmly waved his finger. 1 billion per day. Upon hearing that amount, the warrior's mind went blank. After a moment, he snapped out of it, pondered for a bit, and said, in principle, that's not possible, but rules are made by people. I happen to know a god-tier sorcerer who might be able to help. A god-tier sorcerer has the strongest versatility, combining protection, defense, and attack capabilities. For Yi Xiao at his current level, this was undoubtedly the best choice. After signing the contract and completing the payment, the Blood Fury warrior summoned the god-tier sorcerer. In the next moment, a red light flashed, and the seductive sorceress appeared in the hall. I am the sorceress, Tori. According to the contract, from now on, for the next 24 hours, I am at your disposal. Speak. What do you need? I'll fulfill all your requests. Yi Xiao briefly checked her information, but found that there were no details available. Greetings, senior. Yi Xiao has hired you mainly to challenge a very difficult dungeon. Tori smiled lightly, not particularly concerned. What difficult dungeons are there in the newbie village? Do you want to kill the Goblin King or the entire family? I can take care of them with a wave of my hand. No time to waste, let's get going, Yi Xiao said, not wasting any more time, and led her out of the Supreme Hall. With limited time, every second counted. On the way to the dragon's lair, they coincidentally ran into the goblin warriors that had been chasing Yi Xiao earlier. Tori calmly extended her hand and flicked her finger, casting a fireball spell. In an instant, the goblins were engulfed by terrifying damage values. Seeing this, Yi Xiao couldn't help but exclaim, "This damage, it's like calling someone and hitting their home." A few players, who were being chased by goblin warriors, were also stunned. Did I see that correctly? Is that person accompanied by a sorceress? The damage is insane. They must have hired a high-level NPC. That sorceress is beautiful. After the goblin warriors were taken care of, a series of system notifications sounded. Ding! Congratulations! Your level has successfully risen to LV10, and you have gained attribute points that can be freely allocated. Ding! You are 9527, the first player in the newbie village to reach level 10. You are rewarded with attribute points. World announcement. Player Yi Xiao has successfully leveled up to LV10, and the level leaderboard is now open. The announcement echoed in every player's mind, ringing 3 times before stopping. At this moment, all players participating in the Apocalypse beta test, no matter who they were or what they were doing, stopped in their tracks, their eyes filled with shock. It's barely been a day, and someone's already level 10? On the world leaderboard, aside from Yi Xiao, the rest of the board was completely empty. There were only 6 hours left until the official start of the Apocalypse, and the vast majority of players were still stuck at level 1. Even the top players, relying on their ghostly movements and superb skills, were only at level 3, with their experience still not halfway to the next level. Also, Yi Xiao was a name none of them had ever heard before. It seemed another strong competitor had emerged. It was getting exciting. At this time, Yi Xiao was unaware of the thoughts of other players, as he and Tori made their way to the dragon's lair. Yi Xiao stood before a large rock and gently pressed his hand against it. With a rumble, the rock immediately trembled, and a massive surge of energy exploded, shattering the rock into pieces. A dark hole appeared before Yi Xiao, and a system notification sounded. Ding! You have entered the hidden area, Dragon's Lair. This area is extremely dangerous. Please leave immediately. In the previous timeline, someone had triggered a level 100 hidden quest to explore the Dragon's Lair. After successfully returning to the newbie village, they discovered this mysterious hidden dungeon. Unfortunately, the berserker who found the dungeon couldn't clear it and even died inside. Though according to the video recordings he sent out, the dungeon contained an incredibly precious dragon egg, which attracted countless players, but no one had ever succeeded in clearing the quest. As a result, the Dragon's Lair came to be known as an impossible hidden dungeon. After hearing Yi Xiao's story, Tori's face was filled with surprise. You're not trying to steal the dragon egg, are you? Don't tell me you're messing with me. Even I don't have absolute confidence in defeating a dragon. Yi Xiao chuckled and flattered her. Look, it's just a dragon over there. Master Tori, the mighty sorceress, can take it down in seconds. It's no big deal. Tori looked over and immediately froze in place. It was a 5th-tier sacred judgment, Radiant Dragon. A 3rd-tier dragon could destroy an entire guild, but this sacred judgment dragon was one of the most elite beings among dragons. We don't even have a 1/10, 0.000 chance of winning. I'm out of here. I'm retreating first. Seeing her about to leave, Yi Xiao hurriedly spoke. Sister Tori, I'll double the commission. Tori waved her hand and sighed helplessly. It won't make a difference. It's not that I don't want the commission, I just can't beat it. Yi Xiao pleaded eagerly. Triple the commission, just help me stall for 3 minutes. Once the time is up, you can run. Tori hesitated for a moment, then finally gave in to the money. All right, I'll risk my life for it. I'll stall it for you. I'm all in, but I can only give you 3 minutes. With that, Tori waved her hand, casting several buffs on Yi Xiao. Ding. You have received the blessing of the God of Life. Your health attribute is doubled. Ding. You have received the blessing of the God of Agility. Your agility attribute is doubled. Ding. You have received the blessing of the God of Strength. Your strength attribute is doubled. As they got close to the dragon, the massive creature, over 100 meters long, opened its eyes. In the next moment, the entire lair began to shake violently, and a loud dragon roar echoed through the sky. Torai leapt into the air and unleashed a prepared skill. Freezing arrow. She shouted, "You vile creature, if it were any other time, I'd show you some mercy, but for these 3 minutes, even a dragon must kneel." Freezing arrows rained down, bombarding the dragon. The beast immediately entered a state of fury. Taking advantage of the momentary distraction, Yi Xiao sprinted ahead and reached the deepest part of the lair. It was a small cave where a dragon egg, half the size of a person, stood in the center, surrounded by a faint glow. Yi Xiao gently touched the dragon egg, silently praying, "Please don't let it notice me, or my life will be over in an instant." Just then, Tori's urgent shout came from not far away. 1.5 minutes left. I can barely hold on." Upon hearing this, Yi Xiao picked up the dragon egg, but with his limited strength, he sighed, "This dragon egg really is heavy." He then shouted, "Frog, give me a hand." The frog, hands in its pockets, replied, "I've never done this kind of sneaky business before." No sooner had the words left his mouth than a tremendous oppressive force suddenly descended upon them. Yi Xiao quickly looked up and realized the dragon had spotted him. "Run!" Yi Xiao no longer had the luxury of being cautious. He clutched the dragon egg and sprinted toward the cave entrance. Fortunately, the dragon was still tangled up with Tori, so it couldn't attack Yi Xiao for now. However, at this point, Tori was already at her limit. Enraged, the dragon unleashed its innate skill, Dragon Flame Breath. Watching Yi Xiao successfully run out of the cave, Tori's face turned pale. She immediately gave up the fight and followed him. The dragon relentlessly chased after them, constantly spewing dragon flame, but it seemed that due to the barrier, it couldn't leave the entrance of the cave. In the end, Yi Xiao and the others successfully stole the dragon egg without any major incidents. Tori's eyes were unfocused as she gasped for air, nearly drained of all her magic, and muttered, "You little brat, if this dragon egg hatches into a 5th-stage dragon, then it will have been worth all the trouble I went through. By the way, don't forget to transfer the commission." Yi Xiao opened the trade window without hesitation and transferred the commission. "Thanks for your hard work, Master Tori. 300 million gold coins. All yours." Torai was overjoyed. Even as a god-level being, earning 300 million gold coins wasn't that easy. Ding! Tori's affection for you has increased. Current affection level, 60. Yi Xiao immediately looked at the dragon egg he had stolen with such difficulty, silently praying. Now came the moment for the contract. He hoped nothing bizarre would hatch, or else the 300 million gold would be wasted. Success or failure rested on this. Yi Xiao placed his hand gently on the dragon egg, initiating the contract. The shell immediately cracked open. Then, a faintly blue-hued dragon hatchling emerged, its size not very large, measuring only about 1/2 meter in length. Seeing the dragon hatchling, Yi Xiao couldn't help but feel puzzled. The color seems off. Could it be that the radiant dragon has been given a disguise? Yi Xiao hurriedly checked the hatchling's attributes, only to be stunned by what he saw. This seemingly insignificant little creature was actually a mythical level sky dragon. Not only did it have all 500 attribute points maxed out right from the start, but it also possessed several terrifying talents and skills. This wasn't just a pet. This was like carrying a living boss. It's no exaggeration to say that even if every player in the apocalypse gathered together right now, they still wouldn't be enough to take on this little guy. After reading the stats, Yi Xiao couldn't help but grin widely. The hatchling's growth potential was beyond measure. If it grew to adulthood, its destructive power would be unimaginable. Yi Xiao walked up to the little creature and gently rubbed its head. Seeing its dim gray appearance, he decided, from now on, you'll be called Little Gray. Luckily, it seemed very friendly toward Yi Xiao and didn't resist. At that moment, Yi Xiao noticed a badge in Frog's hand, seemingly picked up from the dragon's lair. Yi Xiao grabbed it and began to examine it closely. Savage Chapter Tier, Celestial Annihilation Base Attribute Bonus, plus 10% to all attributes. Unique passive skill, Savage Strength. The holder of the Savage chapter gains supreme power, with all skills capable of triggering critical hits. Base critical hit rate increased by 20%, and critical damage increased by 100%. Skill, Savage Execution. Draws on the power of the Savage chapter to deal 1000% true mental damage to the target. If the target's HP is below 20%, this effect is guaranteed to trigger. Cooldown, 10 days. Yi Xiao stopped breathing as he read the attributes of the badge. This was ridiculously powerful. It was the first time Yi Xiao had ever seen such a level of item, a Celestial Annihilation tier equipment that was only found in Legends. Without hesitation, Yi Xiao equipped the badge on himself, despite Frog's protests. System notification. You have triggered the hidden quest, the Forbidden Executor. Even the mighty Savage King could not escape the annihilation of the Abyss. As the holder of the Savage chapter, you must seek the truth. Quest objective. Find the Savage Fong. Yi Xiao paused when he heard the notification. What is the Savage Fong? I've never heard of it. Torai, on the other hand, seemed to know something about it. She told Yi Xiao, it's a god-tier assassin's dagger, made from the teeth of the abyssal beast. It's known as one of the weapons with the highest burst potential. It seems the Savage chapter and the Savage Fong are connected in some way. The Savage Fong is probably still in the abyssal continent. You'll need to leave the newbie village first to continue the quest. As soon as she finished speaking, a prompt rang out. Player Yi Xiao, your daily game time limit has been reached. You will be forcefully logged out. Realizing Yi Xiao was about to leave, Tori chuckled and said, I didn't expect a hidden dungeon in the newbie village to take this long. Well, I'll head back to the Supreme Hall for now. If you need anything, just find me. Make sure to have enough gold, though. All right, Tori, see you later. After bidding farewell to Tori, Yi Xiao logged out of the game. Since Doomsday was still in the beta phase and hadn't fully merged with the real world yet, Yi Xiao needed to rest. His body couldn't handle much more. Once offline, Yi Xiao opened his computer and browsed the game community. At this moment, Doomsday had taken the top spot with discussions soaring. The ultimate experience of a virtual world with freedom had attracted countless players. At the same time, numerous posts about Yi Xiao's identity had started circulating, with everyone speculating who Yi Xiao really was. Just then, Yi Xiao's phone suddenly received a message from Qin Yanran. Yi Xiao, I'm giving you a chance. Come to Beihua Hospital now and bring some food for Zhou Hong. He's hospitalized. Also, pay his medical bills. As for the previous matter, let's pretend it never happened. Yi Xiao mumbled, damn, almost forgot. Frustrated, he immediately blocked and deleted all contact information for Qin Yanran. Meanwhile, at Beihua Hospital, Zhou Hong, lying in his bed, looked at Qin Yanran with a teasing tone. Yi Xiao loves you to the bone. The moment you speak, he'll definitely come running. At that moment, the doctor entered the room and said to them, patient in room 17, you can be discharged early. You need to settle the bills now. This hospital has a surge of organ failure patients, all of whom, like you, are here because they played a game called Doomsday. We're facing a shortage of beds. Qin Yanran, hearing this, shouted angrily. What do you mean? Bed shortage? Are the lives of us poor people worthless? Zhou Hong waved his hand, frowning. Enough, Yanran. Stop yelling. This game is no joke. I'm planning to discharge and continue playing. You have the money, so go ahead and pay my hospital bills for now. Qin Yanran spoke weakly. I don't have any money. Yi Xiao didn't give me my allowance this month. Zhou Hong was taken aback, his eyes widening in shock. What? Didn't Yi Xiao give you 200,000 every month? Qin Yanran looked aggrieved. How would I know? He just has a little bit of money. Does he really think that by spending money, he can win me over? I feel disgusted every time I see him. Zhou Hong patiently tried to console her. Yanran, send Yi Xiao another message. Ask him for some money. I'm planning to start a Doomsday game studio, and this amount isn't much for him, but it's really important for us. Qin Yanran nodded smugly. Don't worry. When he comes, I'll just say a few nice words, and Yi Xiao will happily give us the money. However, They had no idea that Yi Xiao was completely uninterested in them and was sound asleep in bed. It wasn't until the next day that he finally got up and entered the game. Unlike the quiet atmosphere the day before, 9527 Newbie Village was now bustling with players, all drawn in by the heated discussions about the game on the forums. Level 1 area leveling 3-1, missing a priest. Don't come if you have no game experience. A priest, Glory Guild's top players are leading a team, currently an 8-1 elite group, level 2 and above players. Come here. The shouts echoed everywhere, and the village was several times more lively than before. Except for a few extremely confident experts, most players were too afraid to level alone and chose to team up for efficiency. Looking at all this, Yi Xiao couldn't help but feel that this was the true state of the Doomsday game. Damn, the number 1 in the 10th level leaderboard. How the hell did this guy level up so fast? Bro, want to team up? We have tons of pretty girls here. Super gorgeous, can you take us along? I'll even show you my black stockings. As soon as Yi Xiao appeared, it caused an uproar. Although Yi Xiao deliberately wore a veil to hide his face, the glaring level 10 mark above his head still made hundreds of players send friend requests, and his screen was soon filled with a flood of requests. Looking at the overwhelming requests, Yi Xiao immediately felt a headache and hurriedly ran toward the city gates. He had to level up quickly and get out of the Newbie Village. Seeing him act with such urgency, a few players immediately followed. Quick, follow the expert. He knows where to level up fast. Yi Xiao, accompanied by the little baby dragon and the frog, swiftly ran toward the outskirts of the village, with players hoping to tag along for the experience trailing behind them. However, the area Yi Xiao was heading to had monsters as strong as level 5 elite mobs. Once these monsters locked onto someone, there was almost no chance of survival. As a result, no one dared to take the risk, and they could only watch Yi Xiao's back as he got further away, feeling powerless. Watching as the players behind him were gradually left behind, Yi Xiao finally arrived at the trial temple. This was the place where players would undergo the level 10 ascension trial. A guard in silver armor stood in front of the temple. The guard looked at Yi Xiao with surprise, seemingly not expecting a player to reach level 10 so quickly, and asked, "Where are your teammates?" Yi Xiao shook his head and replied, "I don't need teammates. I'm going to do the trial alone." The guard furrowed his brow. "Young man, I must remind you that even the easiest ascension trial is far beyond what you can imagine. Don't waste your life." Yi Xiao smiled slightly and waved his hand. "Don't worry, I've got plenty of life left." Seeing Yi Xiao's determination, the guard stopped speaking and said, "Well then, adventurer, please choose the difficulty of your trial." As soon as he finished speaking, a virtual panel appeared before Yi Xiao, displaying several options: normal, hard, nightmare, purgatory, abyss. Yi Xiao calmly extended his hand, and his index finger finally landed on the last option, abyss. The next second, the teleportation array hummed and activated, a flash of white light enveloping him, and Yi Xiao was instantly transported to a dense forest. Scanning the surroundings, Yi Xiao quickly summoned Xiao Hui. Although Xiao Hui wasn't very large yet, it was a mythic tier beast, and its small size actually made Yi Xiao feel safer. Just as Yi Xiao entered the dense forest with Xiao Hui, the next moment, with a roar, a massive figure suddenly blocked his path. It was the brutal snow wolf, level 10, with unknown attributes and skills, a strange creature from the abyss. It had the power to destroy anything. Seeing it lock its gaze on Yi Xiao, he couldn't help but feel a tightness in his chest. To his surprise, he encountered a mutated snow wolf right at the start. This was beyond exciting. With 5,000 health points, even an assassin wouldn't stand a chance. Just with these terrifying stats, it could easily annihilate a full silver-equipped level 10 elite team. And who knew what kind of twisted skills this creature might have? The most despairing part was the word strange in its name, meaning the brutal snow wolf was an aberrant creature. If a player were killed by it, their real-life life would be erased. Yi Xiao quickly issued an order to Xiao Hui to deal with it. Xiao Hui, already itching for a fight, instantly became a blur in the air and appeared in front of the brutal snow wolf. Though Xiao Hui appeared tiny compared to the nearly 2-meter-tall wolf, as a mythic tier beast and a celestial dragon, it naturally had the advantage in confronting this massive wolf. Xiao Hui opened its mouth and spewed out a wave of scorching flame. Immediately, a red damage number floated above the brutal snow wolf's head. Taking advantage of the situation, Xiao Hui swung its dragon claws, leaving behind several afterimages. With a skill combo, the brutal snow wolf's health dropped drastically, leaving it with less than half its health. But at that moment, the brutal snow wolf's eyes suddenly turned red, its fur bristling as it entered a berserk state. The rapid health drop triggered its rage mode, greatly increasing all of its attributes and doubling its health regeneration speed. Just in time, Yi Xiao immediately instructed Xiao Hui, "Unleash Dragon's Might." Xiao Hui let out a skyward howl, though its voice was somewhat high-pitched. The forced 1.5-second stun effect broke the brutal snow wolf's berserk state. Seizing the brief moment of control, Xiao Hui spat out another fiery blast, dealing terrifying damage that brought the mutated boss to the ground. From start to finish, the brutal snow wolf never had a chance to unleash its skills. It wasn't that it wasn't strong, but the combination of the dragon breath from a long range and dragon's might was simply too overpowered. Congratulations, you have successfully killed the mutated boss brutal snow wolf. Your pet Xiao Hui has reached level 4. Seeing the notification, Yi Xiao couldn't help but feel elated. He then opened Xiao Hui's stats panel. The massive experience from killing the 10-level mutated boss had caused Xiao Hui to level up 4 times, with an exaggerated increase in stats, and even unlocked a new skill, Dragon Fangs. After closing the stats panel, Yi Xiao walked over to the brutal snow wolf's corpse and found that his luck was good. In addition to over 1,000 gold coins, 2 pieces of equipment had dropped. Blood Wolf Fong Dagger, Dark Gold Tier, Effect Unidentified. Snow Wolf Bow, Dark Gold Tier, Effect Unidentified. Yi Xiao grinned. 2 pieces of Dark Gold Tier equipment. Seemed like the mutated bosses did indeed have quite a lot of good loot. Just as he was about to put the equipment into his storage space, a jet black tiger suddenly jumped out from the dense forest. It was also an aberrant mutated boss, and its attributes were even stronger than the brutal snow wolf's. Yi Xiao hurriedly gave the command, "Xiao Hui go." At Yi Xiao's command, Xiao Hui fearlessly charged towards the black tiger, ready to face this new battle. Exhausted, Yi Xiao slumped onto the ground, letting out a long sigh. "If I knew it'd be this tiring, I wouldn't have soloed this dungeon. My legs are about to give out." But his efforts weren't in vain. His inventory now held 2 new pieces of equipment, Spike Tiger Shield and Obsidian Blade. Lai Hama glanced at the gear and grinned. "These will fetch a nice pile of gold if you sell them back in town." However, Yi Xiao shook his head firmly. "Not going back. The trial boss is just up ahead, and I came here to take it down." 234. Lai Hama was stunned. "You're joking, right? Sure, you've killed a lot of monsters, but Xiao Hui is only level 7. Are you really sure you can handle a boss?" Without hesitation, Yi Xiao pressed forward, heading straight for the corrupted boss's lair. In his previous life's abyssal trial, the final boss was only a Lord-tier enemy. With Xiao Hui's current strength, plus his own support, taking down a Lord-tier boss would be an effortless feat. Standing before the massive stone doors, Yi Xiao paused for a moment, took a deep breath, and slowly pushed them open. Creak! The heavy stone doors groaned as they slowly parted, releasing an icy breath that rushed toward him. A dimly lit corridor stretched into the abyss, its oppressive aura suffocating. Ding! Warning, adventurer. You have fallen into the abyss. Current area is extremely dangerous. Leave immediately. The sharp, piercing system alert rang repeatedly, echoing like a forbidden zone alarm, warning of an imminent threat. Yi Xiao ignored it, pressing forward through the shadowy corridor until he reached the grand hall at its end. He lifted his gaze, his expression unreadable, and murmured, "In my past life, I, a proud man, was shackled by love and emotion. But in this life, the abyss's emissary, the strongest force of the apocalypse, will be me, Yi Xiao. Come, let me embrace the abyss to the fullest. Boom! Upon the throne, a slumbering figure suddenly opened its eyes. Pitch-black pupils, like devouring black holes, unleashed an overwhelming pressure that engulfed the entire Grand Hall. Abyssal Wanderer King Tier Boss. Level 10. Physique 5000. Spirit 5000. Innate ability unknown. Skills unknown. Yi Zhao's pupils shrank, his expression shifting. In his past life, this was merely a Lord Tier boss, but now it had become a King Tier 5000 Spirit, purely a magic-based entity with strength and agility, both at 0. That meant it had no normal attacks, but if even a single one of its spells landed, death was certain. Yi Xiao quickly regained his composure, his mind racing as he formulated a battle strategy. Xiao Hui, don't use your skills recklessly. Wait for my command at all times. This thing is incredibly slow, but if it lands a hit, it's an instant kill. Keep moving and never stay in one place too long. Xiao Hui let out a low growl, its eyes burning with battle intent. This proud little dragon beast usually carried an air of indifference, but in battle, it was unwaveringly obedient, never slacking for a moment. In the next instant, Xiao Hui erupted into action, launching a full-speed charge toward the Abyssal Wanderer. Meanwhile, Yi Xiao stood on the sidelines, directing Xiao Hui to weave around the Wanderer in rapid, unpredictable movements. He repeatedly instructed Xiao Hui, never let the Wanderer successfully cast a skill. His strategy was clear. Use speed and agility to wear down the colossal opponent. Suddenly, the Wanderer stopped turning and slowly tilted its head, locking its icy gaze directly onto Yi Xiao. A chilling glint flickered in its eyes. Yi Xiao's heart tensed. He instantly realized it. The Wanderer had completely ignored Xiao Hui and set its sights on him instead. Raising its scepter, the Wanderer's vast soul energy surged through the air. It was about to attack Yi Xiao directly. Both Yi Xiao and Lai Hama immediately noticed the danger and wasted no time dodging out of the way. Yi Xiao realized that the Wanderer's attacks were solely focused on him. While dodging frantically, he shouted, "Xiao Hui, do something! Help me!" Under the relentless barrage of attacks, Yi Xiao could barely hold on. "Damn it! I can't take this much longer!" Seeing its master under siege, Xiao Hui let out a furious roar, its eyes blazing with unbridled rage. With a powerful lunge, it opened its massive jaws, unleashing all of its accumulated dragon breath. A raging inferno of flames surging straight at the Abyssal Wanderer. Boom! A devastating explosion rocked the battlefield as massive critical damage numbers erupted. The Wanderer let out an agonized shriek, its enormous body trembling violently. Its HP bar finally hit 0. Amidst the roaring flames, its form gradually crumbled, before crashing to the ground in utter defeat. Ding, congratulations! You have successfully slain the Abyssal Trial Boss, the Wanderer. Your beast, Xiao Hui, has leveled up to level 10. Ding! As the first adventurer to clear the Abyssal Trial, you have been awarded +5 to all attributes. A pleasant system notification rang in Yi Zhao's ears. He let out a long breath, finally releasing the tension in his chest. Now that the danger had passed, he had time to bicker with Lai Hama again. He smirked. "You coward! You were running for your life just now." Lai Hama shot back. "Coward? You ran faster than me." Jokes aside, Yi Xiao quickly strode toward the Wanderer's corpse, eager to see what loot had dropped. At the same time, the game system broadcasted a worldwide announcement, global announcement. Player Yi Xiao from the Great Xia Nation has successfully cleared the Abyssal Tier Advancement Trial, becoming the first ever adventurer to complete this challenge. He has been awarded the legendary title, Emissary of the Abyss. Countless players froze in shock, their minds unable to process what they had just heard. Advancement Trial? What the hell is that? No way. This is a worldwide first clear announcement. Wait, someone actually cleared a trial? And it was Abyss Tier? A player who achieved the first global clear is from Great Xia. One player turned to his companion and muttered, "He's the only one on the leaderboard. This guy isn't ordinary." Xiao Qi, dig up some info on him. The player known as Xiao Qi quickly analyzed the data, pinpointing player ID 9527 from the novice village and deducing that Yi Xiao was from Jiangxing. Upon hearing this, the man's expression shifted, and he immediately commanded his subordinates, "Send people to Jiangxing. Find out everything you can about him." Zhou Hong was staring at the world rankings, slapping his thigh in excitement. Holy shit, it's only the second day, and someone's already reached level 10. And they're from our novice village? If we can get close to this pro, we'll be set for life. Once we get strong enough, even rich secondants like Yi Xiao will have to look up to us. After speaking, Zhou Hong suddenly remembered something and frowned. Wait, didn't I tell you to contact Yi Xiao? Get him to help us level up. He's rich and a gaming expert. Qin Yinran sneered, casually flipping her hair. You go if you want. I couldn't care less. I'm not that desperate. She grabbed Zhou Hong's hand excitedly. Forget about Yi Xiao. This is our time together, and I've never played a game before. Hurry up and show me how to play. Zhou Hong sighed helplessly, eventually nodding in agreement, all the while thinking about how he could level up quickly. Meanwhile, Yi Xiao stared at the item in his hand, completely dumbfounded. No way. After all that effort, and all I get is this tiny fragment. System notification. You have obtained Abyssal Stone Fragment grade. Unknown, unidentifiable. Yi Xiao frowned, feeling puzzled. In his past life, he had never even heard of this item. Still, he didn't dwell on it. He could always figure it out later. Right now, he had cleared the trial, which meant he could finally leave the novice village and head to the main city. The gatekeeper's eyes widened in shock when he saw Yi Xiao walk out unharmed. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Someone actually solo cleared the trial, and it was Abyss tier. Yi Xiao, unfazed, simply said, "Cut the chatter. Contact the main city. I'm leaving this novice village." The gatekeeper wasted no time and immediately contacted the main city as instructed. He then spoke respectfully. "Honored warrior, congratulations on completing the trial. You are now granted the guidance token, allowing you to freely enter and exit the main city. Furthermore, as a reward for completing the Abyss tier advancement trial, you are eligible to receive an epic tier item, Badge of Valor. Badge of Valor, epic tier, a symbol of true bravery, only awarded to those who clear Hell tier trials. This is the highest honor in the Empire. Base attributes plus 20 charm plus 3 valor's might. Passive. Activates when HP drops below 30%, increasing strength by 10% for 1 minute. With his new rewards in hand, Yi Xiao, along with Xiao Hui and Lai Hama, finally stepped into the main city. Before long, he arrived at a new area, Windleaf City. Looking around the nearly empty city square, Yi Xiao sighed, so quiet. In my past life, this place was packed with hundreds of players just waiting in line. Getting here early really does make a difference. He made up his mind to find the beast taming master, Gerard. Liama was puzzled. You're already a beast tamer. Why do you need to see the master? Yi Xiao didn't answer directly. Instead, he smirked mysteriously. You'll find out soon enough. Before long, he located beast taming master Gerard and spoke firmly. Master, I wish to change my class. However, Gerard impatiently waved him off. Looking to change classes? Go bother someone else, kid. Don't waste my time. But Yi Xiao stood his ground, his voice firm. I want to switch to the hidden class, Beast Speaker. That's something not just anyone can achieve. Gerard's sharp gaze locked onto him, his tone turning serious. You think just anyone can become a Beast Speaker? Prove your worth. Outside the city, those damn demon wolves. Bring me 100 of their eyes, then we'll talk. Ding! Gerard has issued the quest, Eyes of the Demon Wolf. Kill 100 elite class monsters, Gale demon wolves, and bring their eyes back to Gerard. Laihama looked shocked and asked, How the hell did you know there was a hidden class quest here? Glancing at the system notification, Yi Xiao simply smirked and replied coolly, I'm not dumb enough to waste time killing 100 elite monsters. Hearing this, Gerard sneered. Huh, useless coward. If you can't even handle this, then get lost and stop wasting my time. Yi Xiao, unfazed by the insult, merely smiled. I don't need to kill demon wolves. I have something that proves my strength. With a casual motion, he pulled out the epic tier item, Badge of Valor. Gerard's expression froze, his pupils shrinking as shock flashed across his face. His attitude changed instantly as he exclaimed, Unbelievable! Someone so young actually cleared a Hell tier advancement trial? Yi Xiao chuckled and corrected him. Wrong. This is an epic tier badge of valor. Not Hell tier, Abyss tier. Gerard raised an eyebrow. How big was your team? Clearing an Abyss tier trial isn't something just anyone can do. Yi Xiao smirked proudly. Just one person, me? No teammates. Gerard immediately put on an exaggerated look of admiration. Ah, as expected, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I knew you were a dragon among men, an absolute prodigy. Lai Hama rolled his eyes hard, thinking this guy changes his tone faster than flipping a page. Yi Xiao, however, wasn't about to let it slide. He crossed his arms and sneered. Oh, first impression, huh? Weren't you just calling me a worthless nobody who didn't qualify for Beast Speaker? Gerard let out an awkward chuckle before carefully adding, Actually, I have a small request. I'd love to see what kind of beast could possibly pass an Abyss tier trial. Without hesitation, Yi Xiao nodded and summoned Xiao Hui. The moment Xiao Hui appeared, Gerard froze in sheer shock, his eyes widening in disbelief. He never imagined he'd witness a divine tier beast with his own eyes. And not just any beast, but a young dragon. This was beyond his wildest dreams. But Yi Xiao was more concerned with his class change. He immediately asked, So, can I officially become a Beast Speaker today? Gerard, however, shook his head solemnly. Not today. Beast Speaker isn't worthy of a beast like yours. Instead, I'll introduce you to someone who is the Royal Chief Beast Tamer. With that, Gerard handed Yi Xiao a recommendation letter. Follow the address written here. Head to the royal capital and meet the Royal Chief Beast Tamer. He'll give you the real answer. As Yi Xiao took the letter, a system notification popped up. Ding. You have triggered the hidden class quest, Whispers of the Dragon. Objective. Travel to the royal capital and find the Royal Chief Beast Tamer. Lai Hama let out a long sigh and shook his head. Damn, you lucky bastard. A hidden class? Seriously? But Yi Xiao frowned slightly. The Royal Chief Beast Tamer was in the royal capital, a place far from here. And right now, he had more pressing matters to take care of. Lai Hama curiously asked, What are you off to do now? Yi Xiao smirked. To complete another hidden quest. Lai Hama was astonished. How the hell do you know about so many hidden quests? Before long, Yi Xiao led Lai Hama to an extravagant castle, where they finally met the person he was looking for. The moment Lai Hama saw the woman before them, his first thought was, Wait, you're not seriously planning to sell your... Yi Xiao rolled his eyes and cut him off. Shut up. This is Lady Shirelli, the widow of the former city lord, a wealthy and charming noblewoman. Just as Yi Xiao prepared to approach, he was stopped by the guards. Unfazed, he spoke respectfully. Honorable Lady Shirelli, why do you always seem troubled? Have you encountered some difficulty? Perhaps I can assist you. Lady Shirelli sighed softly and said, Indeed, I've lost something of great personal importance. If you can retrieve it for me, I would be deeply grateful. Without hesitation, Yi Xiao accepted the quest, and a system notification appeared. Ding. You have received Lady Shirelli's request. Retrieve the beautiful flower for her dot. Logically, the flower should be somewhere in the garden or outside the city. But instead of heading there, Yi Xiao wandered aimlessly around the city with Lai Hama. Confused, Lai Hama frowned. Aren't we supposed to be looking for a flower? Why are we just roaming the city? Yi Xiao gave a knowing smile. The flower Lady Shirelli wants isn't just any ordinary flower. Without hesitation, Yi Xiao headed straight to the item shop, confidently stating, The flower Lady Shirelli wants is here. He entered the shop and asked the clerk, Do you sell treasure boxes? The clerk smiled warmly. A customer with an eye for quality. Our treasure boxes may contain prehistoric dragon bones, epic tier staffs. What price range are you looking for? Yi Xiao waved his hand nonchalantly. The most expensive one. The clerk's eyes gleamed as he retrieved the shop's highest tier treasure box. One costs 10,000 gold coins. But Yi Xiao merely shook his head. One isn't enough. With a flick of his wrist, he tossed a hefty pouch of gold onto the counter. I'll take them all. Every high-tier treasure box you have. The clerk stood frozen for a moment, but Yi Xiao urged impatiently. Didn't hear me? I said all of them. Open every single one. Obliging. The clerk handed over the first box. Yi Xiao flipped it open. A bronze-tier twin-bladed axe lay inside. He opened another, this time a large healing potion. Another one. Inside was a size-enhancing bread. Half an hour later, he had opened 99 boxes. The clerk hesitated before reminding him. Honored customer, you've opened 99 boxes. This is the last one. Yi Xiao didn't hesitate. This time, it has to be the flower Lady Shirley wants. Sure enough, inside was a single, exquisite flower. System notification. A beautiful flower, though its purpose remains unknown. Yi Xiao picked up the flower, a faint smile curling on his lips. He turned, ready to deliver it to Lady Shirley. Meanwhile, Lady Shirley reclined in a warm bath, her voice soft as she asked her maid, Lise, do you think someone will actually find that flower for me? Lise chuckled softly and replied, Of course, my lady. With your charm, luck is always on your side. Just then, another maid hurried in, her expression anxious. My lady, there's a young man outside requesting to see you, and he has brought the flower you wanted. Lady Shirley's eyes widened in delight as she stood up abruptly. She never expected someone would actually find it. Upon seeing Yi Xiao, she wasted no time and asked, Young man, did you truly find what I was looking for? Yi Xiao smiled, presenting a small box with a slight bow. A genuine treasure for a truly beautiful lady. Please, take a look. Lady Shirley eagerly opened the box. The moment she saw the exquisite flower inside, her face lit up with joy. Looking up at Yi Xiao, she said warmly, Young man, you've done me a great favor. What kind of reward would you like? Money? Or a rare artifact? However, Yi Xiao simply shook his head and replied calmly, I'm not interested in money or artifacts. Hearing this, Lady Shirley giggled softly, her gaze playful as she said, Then, I suppose I'll have to offer myself as your reward. Yi Xiao froze, his heartbeat accelerating. He never expected Lady Shirley to say something so bold in broad daylight. Not wanting any misunderstandings, he quickly cleared his throat and stated firmly, My lady, I actually have a request. I hope you can help me obtain official citizenship. Just as Yi Xiao felt his face heating up and a nosebleed threatening to spill, a system notification popped up. Ding. Due to your noble actions and exceptional charm, Lady Shirley's affection towards you has increased by plus 20 da. Lady Shirley smiled, her tone lighthearted. A mere citizenship? That's far too easy. She turned to her maid. Go prepare the documents and seal. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Xiao added, My lady, I have another request. I'm planning to purchase property in Windleaf City and settle down. Lady Shirley took the map Yi Xiao handed her and studied it carefully. Investing in real estate, choosing stability over wandering. That's a wise decision. However, as her eyes landed on the marked location, she frowned slightly. But why West District? That area isn't exactly prime real estate. Yi Xiao's expression remained firm. I've made up my mind. I want land in the West District. I'd greatly appreciate it if you could help me connect with the real estate brokers there. Seeing his unwavering determination, Lady Shirley simply nodded. Very well, I'll arrange it. Lai Hama, on the other hand, was completely baffled. Are you crazy? The East District is the wealthiest part of town. Why would you throw money away on the West District? But Yi Xiao's gaze darkened slightly. His decision wasn't without reason. In the near future, Windleaf City would face an unprecedented invasion of eerie, monstrous creatures. Under the relentless assault, the current city lord would perish, and the East District would be razed to the ground, reduced to nothing but ruins. However, the West District, due to its sparse population and lack of major attractions, would go largely unnoticed by the invading forces, suffering minimal damage. Eventually, as the city rebuilt itself, the West District would rise as the new commercial and strategic hub of Windleaf, housing critical facilities like trade centers, military bases, and academic institutions. Yi Xiao smirked inwardly. Securing the future before anyone else? That's how real profits are made. I don't make bad investments. The staff respectfully said to Yi Xiao, Your Excellency Yi Xiao, the contract for the property you purchased is ready. There are a total of 340 residences and 184 shops, totaling 120 million gold coins. When is it convenient for you to pay? Yi Xiao smiled slightly, looked calm, and responded, For so many properties, only 100 million gold coins? The price is not expensive, but rather ridiculously cheap. I can pay now. Then, Mrs. Shirelli took a document from her bosom and handed it to him gracefully, saying, This is the citizenship you requested. Yi Xiao took the document and felt a stirring in his heart. He never expected that he would become a citizen of Windleaf City so quickly. Mrs. Chalier laughed lightly, her tone tinged with a hint of mockery. I must correct you, Your Excellency, this is not just Windleaf City citizenship, but first-class citizenship in the Longwang Empire. Yi Xiao froze, and when he looked down, he was holding in his hand a Longwang Empire citizenship certificate. What did first-class citizenship mean? And he instantly understood. Liu Hua couldn't help but be surprised. Are you kidding? The status of first-class citizen of the Longwang Empire is not something that even many princes in control of heavy troops can obtain. You are really lucky. Yi Xiao suddenly reacted, his heart shaken. He turned to look at Madame Shirelli, and a flash of surprise passed through his eyes. Could it be? Could it be that you are actually a member of the royal family? Madame Shirelli gave a gentle smile, her eyes betraying a hint of playfulness. Why? Can't I be a member of the royal family? Yi Xiao immediately complimented. No wonder you always exude an air of aristocracy in your every move. No wonder you can have such a special identity. By the way, madam, do you know the royal beastmaster? A serious look flashed in Madame Shirelli's eyes, and she asked slightly warily, You mean Uncle St? What do you want with him? Yi Xiao smiled slightly, his tone sincere. I just want to learn about the tasks related to the profession of Imperial Beastmaster. If I have the opportunity to get to know him, I would be very grateful, madam. After a moment of contemplation, Madame Shirelli nodded gently. Uncle St should be in the imperial capital right now, but his whereabouts are unpredictable, and he often disappears for days. I'll try to help you get in touch with him. Yi Xiao bowed his head and said sincerely, Beautiful madam, without your help, I really don't know how to thank you. I can only offer my sincerest thanks, a kiss. Madame Shirelli let out a little laugh, her eyes sparkling with pleasure. From now on, don't call me madam anymore. How about you just call me Sophia? Yi Xiao understood what she meant and nodded with a smile. Okay, beautiful Sophia. System prompt, ding. Due to your extraordinary charm, Madame Shirelli's favorability towards you has increased by +20. Ding. Congratulations to Xia player Yi Xiao for obtaining first-class citizen status in the Longwang Empire. The reputation rankings are now open, and Xia players can view their rankings by opening the rankings. Ding. Congratulations to Xia player Yi Xiao for successfully purchasing real estate, which has opened the housing system in the Xia region. The daily game time limit for all Xia players has been increased by 1 hour. The toad's mouth curled up in a sneer. Look at your fawning face and you still end up selling your body. Yi Xiao laughed lightly and replied nonchalantly, I like it when you can't stand me, but there's nothing you can do about it. At the same time, the system sounded a prompt again. Congratulations, Yi Xiao. You have successfully upgraded to level 11, and your beast companion, Xiao Hui, has also broken through to level 11. The system then issued a global announcement, which read, Congratulations to the player Yi Xiao of the Great Xia Kingdom for obtaining the status of first-class citizen of the Longwang Empire and successfully purchasing real estate, marking a new era in the game process. Players are intrigued by the first-class citizenship and real estate systems, and they all say that the realism of the game is amazing. Some players started to complain. First-class citizens? What the hell is that? So what class of citizens are we? Third class? Damn, I could put up with this in real life. But why is this happening in the game? Has the planners been stuck in the door? Stop cursing. Stop cursing. What exactly is the planner's background? And he doesn't even know the background of the game. Zhou Hong, who was struggling to fight monsters, saw the global announcement and widened his eyes in surprise, saying, "My goodness, that person named Knight Xiao has actually reached level 11 and become a first-class citizen of the Longwang Empire? This is too awesome, isn't it?" Qin Yinran glanced at the announcement indifferently, then said with some helplessness, "It's really impressive. It's rare to see such a strong person. However, the name is a bit strange." Immediately afterwards, she leaned slightly, collapsed on the ground, and sighed, "Alas, if we had such a master to lead us, we would probably all be level 4 or 5 by now." She continued to complain, "It's not like now, when we have to work so hard to even defeat a slime." As soon as she finished speaking, the other teammates glared at her angrily and started shouting at her. "Hey, from the sound of it, are you saying you don't like our teammates? You've done nothing, just watched us struggle while you cross your arms, and yet you haven't fallen behind in level. Are you not satisfied? If you don't want to play with us, just say so. Don't be so weird." Zhou Hong saw this and immediately hurried out to apologize. "Everyone has misunderstood. My friend really didn't mean it that way. I'm really sorry." However, Qin Yinran angrily shrugged her head and coldly replied, "Just go. Who needs you?" She looked completely unconcerned, obviously angry. Qin Yinran shook her hand, mercilessly pulled Zhou Hong, and turned away, completely ignoring these people. The others in the group angrily cursed behind her back. She really thinks she's a princess just because she's a bit pretty? Looking at her condescending manner, she really dislikes us, doesn't she? Once they left the group, Zhou Hong frowned and complained, "Great. Now what are we going to do about leveling up? We're the only ones left." Qin Yinran was still confused about what she had done wrong and angrily responded, "How dare you say you're going to level up with me? They were all cursing me just now, and you're not helping me. Do you even have any feelings for me?" Zhou Hong saw what was going on and immediately reassured her. Okay, I was wrong. Don't be angry. By the way, didn't I ask you to contact Yi Xiao to play the game Doomsday together? Have you contacted him yet?" Qin Yinran shrugged and replied disapprovingly, "Why should I take the initiative to contact him? He's the one who finds me first every time." Zhou Hong helplessly pleaded, Okay, you're high and mighty, I know. But this time, just do me a favor and contact Yi Xiao on your own initiative. I'm begging you. Let him take us both up together." Qin Yinran gave him a cold look and said haughtily, "Since you're begging me so much, I'll reluctantly do it. It's not early anymore. I'll send him a message after I log off." Zhou Hong immediately showed an expression of gratitude and hurriedly thanked her. "Thank you. I really can't thank you enough. I'm waiting for good news from you." The two agreed to meet the next day, and Qin Yinran went offline. Qin Yinran thought to herself, although Yi Zhao's method of using money to bribe people seemed a bit vulgar, after all, it wasn't entirely his fault, and she seemed to owe him a chance. So, she picked up her phone and prepared to contact Yi Xiao on her own initiative. She sent Yi Xiao a message with a hint of teasing in her tone. "Yi Xiao, I'm playing a game called The Day After Tomorrow. Hurry up and buy the equipment so you can take me and Zhou Hong to level up together. If you can get me on the leaderboard this time, I'll consider being your girlfriend. How's that? Aren't you touched?" Hee. After sending the message, Qin Yinran muttered to herself, "Luckily I'm a generous girl. Never mind, I'll forgive you this time." Qin Yinran stared at her phone for a long time and noticed that Yi Zhao's reply was still long overdue. Her anxiety and unease slowly began to build. After a few minutes, Qin Yinran finally couldn't help but check her phone again. But the results stunned her. Yi Xiao had actually deleted her. At that moment, a wave of anger welled up in her heart. She gritted her teeth in exasperation and yelled, "Yi Xiao, from today on, I'm through with you." Her words were full of determination and anger. "If you really have backbone, don't come begging to me like a dog in the future. Even if you kneel down, I will never forgive you. Never." Meanwhile, Yi Xiao was standing in the eastern city district of the main city of the windmill in the game, looking at the bustling streets in front of him. He secretly thought to himself that soon, the western city district would also be as prosperous as this, and even more exciting. He walked into an appraisal shop. A sign hung in the doorway, and the shop smelled strongly of leather and metal. The shop assistant saw Yi Xiao walk in and said indifferently, "Our shop specializes in appraising silver and higher-level equipment. If you want to appraise bronze-level equipment, it's better to go outside the city." Yi Xiao took out a pendant from his bosom and asked calmly, "This is a dark gold class item. Can you authenticate it?" The accessory, called the Dark Knight pendant, spun gently in the hands of the shopkeeper, who looked at it carefully, and a hint of shock appeared in his eyes. "It really is a dark gold class item." The clerk's attitude instantly became respectful and attentive. He smiled and said, "Boss, don't worry. If you are willing to entrust this shop with dark gold level equipment, the owner will personally handle it and guarantee that it will be successful." Yi Xiao's expression did not change, and he urged, "Cut the crap. What is the success rate?" The shop assistant smiled flatteringly, his tone full of respect. "Don't worry. I am a gold-level appraiser with excellent skills, and the success rate is over 80%. However, the appraisal fee for each piece of dark gold-level equipment is 100 gold coins." Yi Xiao did not hesitate for a moment. He took out a bag of gold coins from his backpack, threw it onto the table casually, and said calmly, "No problem. Let's get started. By the way, I still have a few pieces of dark gold equipment on me. Let's appraise them together." The clerk saw the bag of gold coins, and a flash of surprise passed through his eyes. Then he saw the pile of equipment Yi Xiao had put down and couldn't help but freeze, his mouth twitching slightly. I wipe. Isn't this the personal visit of the god of wealth?" Yi Xiao frowned and urged, "Hurry up and appraise it. I'm in a hurry." After a period of busy appraisal, the shop assistant picked up the Knight pendant and read out the attributes in a soft voice. Knight pendant, level 10, spirit plus 40, strength plus 40, dark attribute damage reduced by 20%. His tone was full of wonder. The shop assistant was full of admiration as he held the appraisal result in his hands, exclaiming, "The attributes are simply incredible. This piece of equipment is simply too strong." However, Yi Xiao did not show much surprise. He said indifferently, "Not bad. Let's continue appraising the others." After leaving the appraisal shop, Toad smiled and surveyed Yi Xiao with his gaze. "Well, the attributes have indeed been improved quite a bit. Now your strength should be able to stand on its own. Where are we going next?" Yi Xiao thought about it for a moment, and a flash of thought crossed his eyes. "Sophia hasn't given me any news yet, so let's go to Gray Mist Valley to level up first. Let's go." A few minutes later, Yi Xiao and Toad arrived at the Misty Valley. The scene in front of them was depressing. The sky was filled with a gray mist, and a few birds flew by, emitting hoarse cries. On the ground, raised rocks could be seen everywhere, some of which looked like the fangs of monsters, exuding a gloomy atmosphere. The Toad looked around doubtfully and whispered, "Here? I thought you said this was a level 20 monster area." Yi Xiao nodded, his tone firm. "That's right, this is definitely the place." Suddenly, Yi Xiao's eyes lit up as a group of level 21 gray hyenas appeared before them. Their dull fur radiated a strong sense of hostility, which made people feel uneasy. Yi Xiao couldn't help but frown. Why are there so many of these monsters? It's a bit disgusting." Without hesitation, Yi Xiao quickly commanded Xiao Hui to go up and fight. "Xiao Hui, go deal with them." Xiao Hui spread its wings, soared into the air, opened its mouth, and spat out a blazing flame, instantly engulfing the gray hyenas in front of it in flames. The system then popped up a prompt: "Successfully killed gray hyenas. Experience plus 240, plus 235. Yi Xiao found a relatively hidden place, sat down, leisurely took a sip of tea, and said lightly, "The monsters here are relatively high level. They will automatically come towards us, so we'll just stay here." The toad raised an eyebrow, revealing a hint of disdain. "You brat, you really know how to enjoy yourself." Yi Xiao let out a light laugh, narrowed his eyes, and looked into the distance. "Of course. Back in the day, I suffered beatings and struggled for survival every day. These days are a real treat, huh?" 2 hours later, the system prompted again. "Congratulations to player Yi Xiao on successfully reaching level 12. Your beast Gray has also been promoted to level 12. Yi Xiao looked around, and seeing the bodies of gray hyenas all over the ground, he couldn't help but secretly exclaim, "At this rate, I'll be able to reach level 20 in a few days." At that moment, he noticed a gleaming scroll next to the body of a gray hyena. Yi Xiao picked it up curiously and looked at it more closely. He discovered that it said, "Elementary Scroll, Fireball Technique." The toad looked at the scroll in Yi Xiao's hand and couldn't help but laugh out loud. "Haha, Yi Xiao, you're an animal tamer and you're actually learning fireball magic? Doesn't that look ridiculous?" Yi Xiao couldn't help rolling his eyes and snickering. "You know nothing. It's better to have many skills than not have any. Just learn it first." After saying that, he stopped talking nonsense and directly crushed the scroll with force. With a surge of magical energy, the system prompted, "Congratulations, you have successfully mastered Fireball Technique. Fireball Technique can condense a fireball with magic power, dealing 150% of the caster's mental power as magical damage to the target." At this time, a gray hyena was rapidly approaching him. Yi Xiao saw this and decided to try the new Fireball Technique he had just learned. He immediately cast the Fireball Technique at the hyena. The effect of the Fireball Technique was immediate, and the flames hit the target accurately. The gray hyena was instantly attacked, and the system prompt said, "Attacked by Fireball Technique, damage value -31. Yi Xiao looked at the damage number and was shocked. "Are you serious? This damage is too insulting." The toad laughed loudly, unceremoniously mocking. "Huh. Your damage is even higher than Gray's fart." Yi Xiao sighed helplessly, opened the system panel, and saw that his game time for this session was 12:49. He looked at the time and said thoughtfully, "It's getting late. Time to log off. In 2 hours, the third day of the game Doom will begin. In other words, the public beta will start soon." A deep light flashed in his eyes. At that time, all players in the Great Xia who have reached the age of 16 will be forcibly drawn into this dangerous game. The world is about to undergo drastic changes. At that moment, the sky in a real world suddenly became covered in dark clouds, and flashes of lightning and peals of thunder ripped through the sky. The atmosphere became extremely oppressive and eerie. A game panel suddenly popped up in front of everyone, with the words "Doom, enter the game" written on it. As this prompt appeared, there was chaos all around, and people were discussing, "Enter the game? What the hell is this? Is this a midnight prank? It doesn't seem like it." Then, inexplicably, a group of people were sucked into the game. Some of them were soaking in a bath at a bath center, while others were having a late-night snack, completely at a loss. "What's going on? I was taking a bath, and before I knew it, I was here. Game? I was just having a kebab. Where's the kebab? Where are the people? Holy shit, did I just time travel? Haha, I really am the chosen one. Lao Wang too. Didn't you go to the square to dance? Why are you in the game too?" Qin Yinran also found herself forcibly entered into the game, looking puzzled. "What's going on? How did I automatically enter the game?" Zhou Hong also frowned. "Me too. This is really weird. I was just eating a late-night snack with Wang Wan and the others. How did I end up in the game?" Zhou Hong looked at Qin Yinran, his tone tinged with a hint of urgency. "It seems that we're not the only ones who were forced to enter. It seems that the game Doomsday is really an opportunity to change the world. By the way, Yinran, I asked you to contact Yi Xiao to take us to level up. What happened?" At the mention of Yi Xiao, Qin Yinran was instantly overcome with anger. "Yi Xiao? To hell with him. Even if he begged me in tears, I would never speak to him again." I plan to contact the great god Yi Xiao in the game and take us up a level. Zhou Hong's eyes lit up in surprise. What? You know the great god Yi Xiao? The Yi Xiao who is ranked first. Qin Yinran smiled confidently, a hint of smugness in her eyes. I don't know him yet, but with my looks, there's no man who wouldn't fall for me. At this point, the game issued a new announcement. All people in the Great Xia Empire who have reached the age of 16, regardless of gender or age, are forced to log in to the end. The game's logout screen disappeared completely, and the players realized that they could not log out on their own. The system explains that the player's location is linked to their real-world location. The closer you are to your real-world location, the closer your spawn point will be. Each newbie village corresponds to a region. The system adds, if a player dies in-game, they will not be able to return to the real world. In Newbie Village 001, a group of players begin to discuss anxiously. Now that everyone has been forced into the game, what's going to happen to the world? What about Night Xiao? Isn't he the #1 player on the leaderboard? Does he know how to quit the game? Yes, he leveled up so quickly during the closed beta. He must know something. We have to find him. In Novice Village 001, a man reported, so far, we still haven't found any way to quit the game. We may be trapped in the game forever. The player with the ID, immovable as a mountain, asked in a low voice. Things have actually reached this serious state. What about that Yi Xiao? Isn't there any news from the #1 player? The subordinate responded, we can't contact him. He's already level 12, and he's not in the newbie village. No one can log out right now. Immovable as a mountain calmly asked, what about Chen Kuang? He can't either. The subordinate added, he's only level 4. He's been leveling with the team, but the intensity of Doom is really too high, and many people are only level 2 now. Mountain, unmoved, raised an eyebrow, and his face turned cold. There are really such characters in Jiangsheng. Yi Xiao is indeed not simple. Pass the order down, and do your best to find Yi Xiao's whereabouts. At this time, Yi Xiao suddenly received a message from Lady Shirelli, telling him to go to the Duke's mansion and that progress had been made in the investigation. Yi Xiao did not expect to get news from the royal animal trainer so quickly, and a feeling of joy welled up in his heart. This speed is truly surprising. Not long after, Li Zhao's figure appeared at Lady Charlie's mansion. Seeing him, Lady Charlie smiled brightly and said softly, you finally arrived? I've missed you so much. Li Xiao couldn't help but feel his heart race at her alluring smile. This is way too seductive. Who could resist that? He shyly muttered, I'm here. He quickly shifted the topic, asking, any updates on the royal beast tamer? Lady Charlie smiled faintly, replying, don't rush. Uncle Stir is traveling and can't spare the time just yet. Li Xiao thought he was going to be disappointed again, but Lady Charlie continued. However, Uncle Stir did send a message through me about unlocking a hidden profession. It's not that difficult. It's actually right here in Windleaf City. Li Xiao was overjoyed. What? Right in Windleaf City? He thought to himself, I thought I'd have to travel far and wide. Turns out the treasure is just around the corner. Lady Charlie went on, but it might be a bit challenging. According to Uncle Stir, beyond Windleaf in the Dragon's Ridge, there is a powerful dragon guarding its lair, and beneath the lair is a labyrinth. Li Zhao's eyes lit up. You mean the dungeon labyrinth? Lady Charlie was taken aback, not expecting him to know the name of the labyrinth. Li Xiao quickly laughed it off. I just heard about it by chance. Of course, he was well aware of the dungeon from his past life, having run it countless times. Li Xiao, somewhat confused, remarked, I heard there's just an 80-level mutated boss there. How did it turn into a dragon? Lady Charlie firmly replied, there is indeed a dragon guarding it. This puzzled Li Xiao even more. Wasn't it a mutated boss in the past life? Had it turned into a dragon now? He decided to stop overthinking it and just go. At that moment, Lady Charlie stopped him and asked, are you really planning to go alone? That's an 80-level area. Even the elites of the city would be risking their lives. Just then, the system prompt sounded. Ding dong. System notification. Stir has sent a message. Please go to the unknown labyrinth and retrieve something from within. Li Xiao remained calm and collected, flashing a confident smile. Don't worry, my dear Sophia. I've got this under control, he added with a smirk. As long as the money flows, even a dragon can fall. And when it comes to dragon slaying gigs, my big sis Tao's the best in the business. With that, he pulled out a mysterious token, shimmering with ancient runes, ready to summon her. Lady Charlie's eyes widened the moment she saw it. Wait, is that a token of the Supreme Hall? Li Xiao, you're only level 12. How did you even get your hands on this? A moment later, a sultry figure emerged from a swirl of light, her voice dripping with playful charm. Oh ho, who's calling for your lovely big sister again? Oh, it's my cute little Li Xiao. Miss me already? Li Xiao chuckled. Taojia, I've got a huge business deal for you. Big money, big thrill. Hearing the word business, Tao Xiangni's eye twitched. Don't tell me, it's another. She narrowed her eyes. Wait, it's a dragon job again, isn't it? Li Xiao shrugged innocently. You really do see through everything, Taojia. Yep, it's a dragon. Tao Xiangni's expression darkened instantly. A dragon? Again, do you have a death wish or a lifelong feud with the dragon race? Last time we stole a dragon egg, I nearly busted my back. No way, I'm out. Just as she turned to leave, Li Xiao dropped the bait. Same rate as last time, 200 million credits upon completion. Tao froze mid-step. Her resolve visibly wavered. Ugh, I'm not saying no, but my back really isn't ready yet. Maybe in a month or so, if you're not in a hurry. Li Xiao smiled slyly. Well, what if I told you I know the location of the sacred spirit spring? Tao Xiangni was utterly stunned. Li Xiao actually knew the location of the sacred spirit spring? Her voice trembled with excitement. You're not joking, right? If you really know where it is, then even if I have to risk my life, Big Sis will go with you. Li Xiao clapped his hands decisively. Great. Then we're heading out right now. The sheer decisiveness of it stunned Tao for a second. As she followed him out in quick steps, she kept pressing. Hey, seriously, where is it? Tell Big Sis. Li Xiao calmly replied, the Lost Land. What? Be more specific. What's the exact coordinate? She urged. Behind them, Lady Charlie watched the duo disappear into the distance, her expression tinged with awe. This Li Xiao, he's becoming more unpredictable by the day. She murmured, maybe one day he really will become a god-tier powerhouse. At the same time, Li Xiao's system pinged. Sophia's favorability +10. Meanwhile, outside the newbie village, a player lay sprawled on the grass, looking pale and lifeless. Someone whispered, Wang Chong got hacked down by goblins twice. After his last respawn, he had organ failure. Panic broke out among the surrounding players. What the hell? This game actually kills people. I want out. I want to go home. Stop yelling. Everyone wants out, but no one knows how to quit. I heard someone already hit level 12. Maybe we can find him and ask. Soon, Li Xiao's team arrived at the Dragon Ridge Mountains. Toad glanced around, clicking his tongue. Man, this place is stunning. Doesn't look like it'd hide a dragon at all. Tao Xiangni narrowed her eyes and replied coolly, the prettier the scenery, the deadlier the trap. Besides, we're aiming for the labyrinth. Skip the mobs if we can. Li Xiao nodded in agreement. She's right. The monsters here are level 80. Without Taojia's aura buff, we'd have been mobbed to death by now. In the distance, a massive shadow glided across the sky. It was a dragon, its wings cutting through the clouds like a blade, its gleaming scales glinting in the sunlight. Tao Xiangni's expression darkened. Kid, are you sure you know where this maze entrance is? That thing's a tier 5 dragon. I'm not signing up to become roasted meat. Li Xiao's gaze remained firm. Relax. We won't be spotted. The maze entrance is just below that steep cliffside on the mountain's edge. Sure enough, they soon arrived at a concealed stone cave. At the mouth of the cave, a glowing teleportation array was etched into the rock. Ancient, intricate, and eerie. Tao stepped forward, cautiously inspecting it. This is some next-level arcane design, but strange. There's no trace of lingering mana. I don't think I can activate it. Without a word, Li Xiao pulled out a dagger and calmly sliced across his palm. He pressed the bleeding hand against the core of the formation. Instantly, the array flared to life with an eerie blue glow, emitting a low hum like a whisper from another world. The stone gate groaned open. Tao's eyes widened in awe. Who exactly are you? That array responded to you like it recognized you. A sudden system prompt echoed. You have entered a high-risk zone. This labyrinth has only one exit. It is currently infested by unidentified aberrant creatures. Proceed with extreme caution. And then came the countdown. Time remaining, 180 minutes. Yi Xiao thought to himself, 3 hours? The time limit in my previous life was 3 days. As expected, things are a bit different now. It's been shortened. Seeing the thoughtful look on his face, Momoka Nai reminded him, Yi Xiao, I have to tell you, this mission is even more terrifying than facing a Tier 5 dragon. Are you sure you can get those items? Yi Xiao gave a light chuckle and said, Sister Tao, you're a god-tier spellcaster. Don't tell me you're scared. Momoka Nai didn't expect this brat to underestimate her and angrily slapped her thigh. Scared? Are you kidding me? I'm a god-level powerhouse, an elder of the Supreme Hall, one of the top spellcasters. How could I possibly be afraid of a little creepy maze? Yi Xiao smiled and said, Fair enough. Then let's get going. Oh, by the way, Sister Tao, do you know stealth magic? Momoka Nai's expression turned grim. What kind of question is that? Are you insulting me? Stealth magic is such a low-level spell. I already looked down on it back when I was just an apprentice. Yi Xiao quickly tried to calm her down. Please don't be angry, Sister Tao. I just meant a spell that hides our presence, an aura. That would work just fine. Momoka Nai let out a cold snort and snapped her fingers. In an instant, the two of them vanished into thin air, and even their presence silently disappeared. Why Yi Xiao was amazed. As expected from a god tier, absolutely perfect. Then Yi Xiao explained, there are 5 weird monsters in the maze. 3 level, 60 crawling creatures, 1 level, 60 elite boss, and 1 regular level, 80 eerie monster. We need to be careful. Hearing this, Momoka Nai couldn't help but say, You know that much? Were you a prophet? Yi Xiao smiled. You could say that. I don't know a few things. That answer made Momoka Nai even more curious. Creepy. What else do you know? When they reached a checkpoint, Yi Xiao whispered, We need to sneak past quietly. Don't disturb these monsters. Watch my footsteps carefully. Momoka Nai flipped her hair impatiently. What? Are you seriously trying to teach me how to do this? Do you even know what level you are compared to me? I've cleared more mazes than you've walked roads. Before she could finish her sentence, Yi Xiao had already darted forward like a shadow, leaving only a blur behind. Did you catch my footwork? In a blink, Li Xiao darted past the lurking monster, his body gliding through the shadows like a phantom, narrowly dodging a fatal encounter. Tao Xiangnai stood there dumbfounded. What the hell? You brushed past a level, 60 elite, and it didn't even notice? Who's the master now? You're the master. Hell, your whole family's a master. Despite her dramatic reaction, she followed smoothly, also slipping past without triggering an alert. The moment they regrouped, tension spiked. The next battle could start any second. Li Xiao narrowed his eyes. It's here, just as I suspected. But this one's not like the one from my past life. Looming before them was the maze's final sentinel, the Shadow Wraith Beast. Its aura was suffocatingly cold, as though it chilled the very air around it. Li Xiao attempted to check its stats, but only got undetectable. He turned to Tao and asked, Can you see its level? Tao replied calmly, Level 100, a berserk aberrant boss. Powerful, yes, but nothing I can't handle. Li Xiao's eyes lit up with excitement. Perfect. I'll go grab the treasure chest. Hidden class scroll, here I come. Tao Jia, once I move, strike fast. Tao gave a playful smirk. Don't worry, I'll give you an absolute defense buff. Nothing will touch you. Even as he ran, Li Xiao called out, Be careful. One wrong move, and that beast will come straight for us. The toad muttered, You should worry about yourself first. At last, Li Xiao stood before the ornate chest, his eyes glowing with anticipation. The hidden class scroll, it's finally within reach. But Just as Li Xiao opened the treasure chest, his expression darkened. The contents were completely different from what he remembered in his past life. At that moment, the Shadow Wraith beast suddenly turned, its razor-sharp gaze locking onto him like a predator spotting prey. It lunged toward him without warning. But before it could strike, Tao Xiangnai snapped her fingers and cast Frost Shock, freezing the beast mid-charge. "What are you waiting for? Run!" she shouted, her voice echoing in the dim maze. The ice shattered seconds later as the beast roared, breaking free and charging again. Li Xiao bolted, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Tao Jia, help me!" Without hesitation, Tao summoned a 5 thunder array, lightning crackling and tearing through the air. The Shadow Wraith beast convulsed violently, paralyzed by the electric storm. Seizing the moment, Li Xiao pulled up his loot menu, an ancient sheepskin scroll and a glowing Heavenfall grade cooldown reset stone. The toad gawked beside him. "Holy crap, kid, you've got insane luck." Li Xiao was equally stunned. Heavenfall grade? Cooldown reset? That means the cooldown on my Ruthless chapter will drop to just 3 days. That's crazy. Tao Xiangnai gave the stunned beast a sidelong glance and asked coolly, "So, what now? Do we finish it off or let it live?" "Attack now," Li Xiao roared. "Tao Jia, go full throttle. Blast it into dust." Tao Xiangnai cracked her knuckles with a wicked smile. "You asked for it. Time for a massacre." She unleashed a thunderous 5 thunder spell, bolts of lightning exploding across the battlefield like a storm unleashed. The Shadow Wraith beast's eyes turned crimson, letting out a spine-chilling screech that echoed through the entire maze. Li Xiao narrowed his eyes. "What's with all the howling? Is it going berserk?" The toad chimed in. "Or maybe it's calling back up?" As if to answer their question, a massive dragon's claw suddenly tore through the ceiling above. A full-grown dragon had arrived. Li Xiao's jaw dropped. No way. It was summoning a dragon? The dragon roared and unleashed a wave of searing fire, scorching everything in its path. The team scattered, dodging the inferno. "This doesn't make any damn sense," Li Xiao shouted. "Since when can a dungeon boss call in a freaking dragon? Are they roommates or what?" The toad wheezed. "Ask it yourself, genius. Maybe the Wraith Beast and the dragon share a mailbox." Tao gritted her teeth. "This is bad. It's in a berserk state, and my slowing spells won't work anymore." "Run now," the toad screamed. "Move your ass, kid. That thing's coming straight for you." Li Xiao narrowed his eyes and sneered. "Run? It's gone berserk to gamble its life. Fine, I'll gladly collect the debt." Tao Xiangnai gasped in disbelief. "That's a level 100 monster. You're just level 12. Are you insane?" But Li Xiao remained calm as ever. "With the cooldown stone and the savage scripture together, I need to test the firepower firsthand." He raised the savage scripture, roared at the Wraith Beast, "Die now." Ding. System prompt. Damage dealt. -242. Li Xiao stared in disbelief. "Wait, what? Only 242 damage. Is my luck cursed or what?" The toad was panicking. "Hey, if you die here, don't count on me to bury you." But then, something insane happened. The Wraith Beast suddenly convulsed violently. System critical prompt. Savage execution triggered total damage. -932,642. The beast collapsed with a thunderous crash, and another system notice popped up. Target HP below 20% instant death effect triggered. In an instant, Li Xiao's level shot up to level 20, and the system followed up. Level cap reached, Beastmaster level also increased to 20. Tao Xiangnai gawked, speechless. Is this even real? A 100-level nightmare boss got shredded by a rookie at level 12. This is absurd. News of Yi Zhao's level up instantly exploded on the world announcement. The player base collectively lost its mind. Wow, what the hell? A first kill on a level 100 boss. Is this even the same game we're playing? Either there's a serious bug in the system, or Yi Zhao is not a normal player. But the celebration was short-lived. The death of the boss enraged the dragons. Roars echoed across the mountains, and the entire dungeon began to collapse. Tao Xiangnai's voice turned urgent. The place is falling apart. Run, you fool. Yet Yi Xiao stood his ground. Wait, I haven't collected the loot yet. Are you insane? Tao Xiangnai snapped, activating a teleportation portal. Grab your damn life first. Yi Xiao gritted his teeth, then finally relented. Fine, fine. I'm not dying for a few shinies. He dashed into the portal. A second later, the entire dungeon imploded behind them, collapsing into rubble and dust. The team emerged, shaken, breathless, and adrenaline-fueled. That was insane, exciting but terrifying. Just when they thought they'd escaped danger, a massive shadow loomed overhead, casting the world beneath in molten red. Looking up, they saw it. The divine judgment flame dragon, majestic and monstrous, its scales glowing with divine wrath. Tao Xiangnai froze. Crap, that's a saint fire dragon. Yeah, I'm out. That's above my pay grade. Good luck, kids. Remember, send me the location of the sacred spring and my payment. Bye. And just like that, she vanished with a flash, leaving only her echo behind. Back in Windleaf City, Yi Xiao wasted no time and headed straight to Lady Chirali's estate. Upon seeing him return, Lady Chirali's eyes lit up with astonishment. You actually brought something back from that cursed labyrinth? Remarkable. Simply remarkable. Yi Xiao responded with a casual smirk. Oh, just a little errand. Barely broke a sweat. The toad chimed in, rolling his eyes. Barely broke a sweat? You nearly lost your life in there. Now that I have the parchment, Yi Xiao said, how do I unlock the hidden class? But Lady Charilai shook her head. This isn't an ordinary class change scroll. Yi Xiao looked puzzled. She explained, according to Uncle Stare, this parchment doesn't assign you a profession. It awakens your latent potential and guides you toward a path that belongs to you alone. With a cryptic smile, she added, come with me. I'll take you to him. They made their way into a secluded chamber hidden deep within a manor. A composed, enigmatic man stood up as they entered. Welcome, young one. I am Stare, the person you seek. Yi Xiao bowed respectfully. Master Stare, it's an honor. I've come to undergo the hidden class awakening. Stare glanced at the parchment, his voice filled with quiet reverence. I once thought no one would ever walk this path again. But fate has its own rhythm, it seems. He looked Yi Xiao straight in the eyes. Very well. Let me guide you through this awakening. Are you ready? Yi Xiao nodded resolutely. I'm ready. Stare gave a faint smile. Excellent. The parchment will awaken the deepest essence within you. Follow the voice of your soul. Do not resist. Do not fear. As his voice fell, 5 radiant crystal orbs began to float around Yi Xiao, forming a silent, glowing circle. Moments later, each orb lit up, one after another, casting brilliant beams across the chamber. Stare's eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible, all 5 orbs are glowing. Yi Xiao had achieved the legendary Supreme Awakening. With a mix of awe and admiration, Stare explained, those crystals represent one's potential. When I awakened my class years ago, I could only ignite 3. But he lit all 5 and even caused an overflow of energy. This young man, is he even human? Lady Chirali's eyes sparkled with admiration. Perhaps he was never ordinary to begin with. System notification. Congratulations. You have successfully completed the Beast Tamer class awakening. You've unlocked the unique hidden class, Dragon Whisperer. Due to an infusion of unknown power, your class tier has been elevated, transcending the standard class limit. New class unlocked. Divine Hidden Class, Beast God Sovereign. As Yi Xiao scrolled through the insane list of talents and stats under Beast God Sovereign, he couldn't help but marvel. These stats are absolutely broken. Stare was still in shock. Unbelievable. Someone has truly managed to become the legendary Beast God Sovereign. That means you now wield the supreme power of the Beast Gods. Each level grants you a staggering 40 attribute points. Yi Xiao looked down at the parchment in his hand, murmuring, such attribute bonuses, it's beyond imagination. And this divine Beast Tamer set even comes with a complete blueprint? A growth-type gear starting at epic rarity? Interesting. But the materials needed, they're all rare grade. Looks like it's time for some monster hunting. Stair nodded in satisfaction and patted his shoulder. Young man, you've stepped into the domain of gods. Your potential is limitless. Your future, extraordinary. Yi Zhao's eyes were full of determination. This lifetime, I'll ascend to the very peak. But first, I need to forge the claw of the beast god. Meanwhile, in another corner of the game world, 3 players arrived at the entrance of the Abyss trials. The guard at the gate gave them a quick once-over. Your equipment's decent. Which tier of the trial do you plan to challenge? The leader stepped forward with a calm smile. I'll take on the Abyss tier. Alone. The guard's expression changed. Another lunatic going solo into an Abyss trial. But the players simply replied, challenge is my creed. Even death won't shake my resolve. As he watched the player disappear into the trial chamber, the guard muttered to himself, these outsiders, they really are something else. Just 5 minutes later, the same player stumbled out, badly wounded and barely breathing. The guard looked at the battered player and sighed. Seems like not just anyone can solo an Abyss tier trial after all. Meanwhile, Yi Zhao had arrived at the Grand Rift, a level 20 trial zone designated as Abyss level difficulty. He glanced at his communicator. Some of his classmates were chatting in a group, even mentioning rumors about him. But Yi Zhao had no interest in revealing his identity. All he wanted was to quietly level up and grow stronger. At that moment, Little Ash was engaged in battle with a massive stone golem. With a swift swipe of its dragon claw, Little Ash tore through the air, slicing a massive chunk of HP, 2364 damage off the golem. The stone golem collapsed with a thunderous crash, dropping 2 weapons, Rockbreaker Hammer and Stone Greatsword, both of dark gold rarity. As Yi Zhao was testing the new weapons, a tremor suddenly shook the ground. From the depths of the canyon emerged an even larger stone golem, the Abyss Watcher, a king-class boss. Yi Zhao's expression turned serious. Little Ash, attack, he commanded, while flanking from the side to provide cover. A fierce battle ensued. But with seamless teamwork, the king-class boss was ultimately brought down by Yi Zhao and Little Ash. Unfortunately, the boss didn't drop any gear this time. Only a single shard of the Abyss Stone remained. Yi Zhao stared at the Abyss Stone fragment in his hand, confused. Fragment 1 dropped from the Wanderer, and now the Watcher dropped Fragment 2. What is this thing? Could it be for crafting some legendary gear? Toad chimed in sarcastically. You sure love to daydream, don't you? Whatever. I'll figure it out later. When the boat hits the bridge, it'll go straight. Time to head home. Just as Yi Zhao stepped out of the trial grounds, a guard approached, holding a silver box. Congratulations, warrior. You've completed the trial. This is your reward. Yi Zhao opened the box, and inside was the legendary Stone of Valor, a rare item that could enhance the badge of bravery. Without hesitation, he pulled out his badge and began the fusion on the spot. Moments later, his badge leveled up into legendary tier. That meant he had cleared the Hell level trial, an honor only the strongest could claim in the Empire. The newly enhanced badge radiated golden light, pulsing with raw power. With this legendary badge, going into a level 30 zone will be like slicing through butter. Yi Zhao's eyes lit up. Let's go, shall we? But just then, a system notification popped up. Frowny face, system maintenance in progress. Logging out soon. Yi Zhao blinked. Wait, I can finally log out and return to the real world. Meanwhile, other players had also received the system maintenance alert. Finally. Does this mean we can log out? I want to go home. I want to see my mom. Yes. Finally, we're going back to the real world. Cries of joy and disbelief filled the virtual air. One by one, players logged out, vanishing in bursts of light. Back in the real world, chaos erupted. News channels were flooded with reports. After Dacia, the US has now also been enveloped by the game Doomsday. Experts speculated this was an unprecedented supernatural phenomenon, bound to spread globally. Falling asleep now meant entering the world of Doomsday. It had become a problem humanity could no longer ignore. Headlines read, Where is the world headed? Player Feral Tiger perishes in Abyss trial. Just how brutal are these tests? Do average players still stand chance? A live interview program aired. Welcome to Global Focus. Today we're joined by elite player Ching Feng-tzu. He led his team to conquer the difficult Ascension trial, and he's here to tell us what it's really like. Does dying in the trial truly have no effect in the real world? All the answers, live right now. Watching from his couch, Yi Xiao narrowed his eyes. Ching Feng-tzu? Never heard of that ID before, huh? Interesting. Let's see what you've got. The reporter asked, Mr. Ching Feng, as the first to lead a team through the difficult Ascension trial, and only the second person after Yi Han to pass such a trial. What are your thoughts? Ching Feng-tzu replied modestly, I'd say we got lucky. And I must clarify, it wasn't just me. It was a team effort, start to finish. What's your opinion on the fact that falling asleep now means automatically logging into Doomsday? Ching Feng's tone turned serious. The truth is the authorities still can't explain what Doomsday really is. But one thing's certain, surviving in that world is far more complicated than it looks. We've also learned that another Daxiao player, Yi Xiao, has passed the Abyss trial twice. As a fellow top player, what's your opinion of him? Ching Feng-tzu answered without hesitation. I have to admit, he's on a completely different level. Even if you combine the rest of the leaderboard, they might still not be able to take him down. Meanwhile, in a high-rise office, a man in a suit watched the broadcast, deep in thought. Not even the whole leaderboard combined could beat him? If I can recruit someone like that, then in the world of Doomsday, I'll have absolute power. Uncle Fu, use all available channels. I want everything you can find on this. Yi Xiao, leave no detail behind. Doomsday actually entered a maintenance phase, and every player was forcefully logged out. Now, the only way back in was through sleep? Yi Xiao frowned. Looks like the game's invasion of reality is progressing slower than in my last life. Good. That just means I've got more time to get ahead. For a Beastmaster like me, level 30 is a key milestone. It unlocks an extra beast slot. No distractions. First goal, hit level 30. Upon logging back in, Yi Xiao headed straight to the level 30 zone, Misty Gray Valley. Xiao Hui, use your sonic stun. At the command, Xiao Hui opened its jaws wide and let out a thunderous roar. The sound wave blasted forward, hitting two rock beasts square in the chest. Both instantly fell into a dazed stupor, wobbling before crashing backward. Nice one, Xiao Hui. Yi Xiao cheered. You're getting stronger by the day. With a final charge, Xiao Hui smashed one of the rock beasts into a pile of rubble. The battle ended. Yi Xiao and Xiao Hui both gained EXP and leveled up. Current level, 24. Meanwhile, the global leaderboard was in chaos. Wait, the top-ranked player just leveled up again. He's now over twice the level of the second-place player. Players everywhere were stunned. Just what kind of monster is Yi Xiao? Normally, the higher your level, the slower your progress. Other players had hoped they'd eventually close the gap with the top rank. But instead of narrowing, the gap had only grown wider. Leaderboard update frowny face #1. Yi Xiao, level 24, #2. Ching Feng-tzu, level 10. One player's side. Let's be real. Yi Xiao's not even our competition. To do what he's done, you've already done great, boss. Another chimed in, laughing. Hey, second place isn't so bad. At least we're ahead of the pack. Meanwhile, deep in the dragon nest of starter village number 9527, a radiant being known as Judicator, luminous dragon glared at its kin. The egg's been missing for days, and you're still hiding in this dark corner sleeping? You are the seer of the dragon race. You carry the fate of our kind on your wings. Have I not sensed it? That human, he carries a presence we dragons find repulsive. The Judicator, Inferno dragon looked puzzled. You mean the stench of one of the gods? No, impossible. He's just a human insect. There's no way he could bear that kind of power. I'm the true seer of our kind, the luminous dragon declared. I've seen far more than you could imagine. I would stake our future on this mortal. Inferno Dragon roared. You're insane. That's far too reckless. Without another word, the two dragons soared into the sky, racing toward a distant horizon. The luminous dragon whispered as it flew. The darkness will stretch across time. It will consume all that we know. And that human is our last hope. Keep up. This is our only chance. You seriously want to entrust the future of our kind to a mortal human? The Judicator, Inferno Dragon, still couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, Qingfeng Tsuiju's party finally arrived at Windleaf Capital, one of the first main cities in the game. Aside from Yishao, we might be the first players to make it here, but just as they were about to celebrate, the sky suddenly darkened. Two colossal figures descended from the clouds, dragons. One of them swooped down and grabbed someone. It was none other than Yishao the rogue. He flailed midair, shouting, "Help! Somebody help me! A dragon's kidnapping me!" In a voice channel, Toad grumbled, "Quit yelling. You think anyone in this game is strong enough to save you?" Qingfeng Tsuiju and his team were stunned. Holy crap. I've played MMOs for years and never seen dragons that huge. And did one of them just grab a player? Boss, should we follow them? Qingfeng Tsuiju shook his head immediately. Follow them? Are you nuts? That's a Judicator class dragon. Even if we hit level 100, it could still sneeze us into a wipe. Not long after, the Doomsday forums exploded with posts, frowny face, breaking news. A player was kidnapped by a dragon, believed to be Yishao, top-ranked global player. The community went wild. Yishao already made contact with dragons. No wonder he's level 24. Must have hired a dragon as his power-leveling coach. Elsewhere, the dragons soared across the sky, bringing Yishao to a mysterious, hidden land. Looking up at the two massive dragons, Yishao muttered, "Why do these two seem familiar?" Toad's voice rang in his ear, deadpan. "Familiar? Duh, you forgot all the dumb stuff you did. I told you not to mess with dragons." Yishao's brain buzzed. "Crap, I did steal their egg and ransack their nest too. Yeah, I'm dead. Absolutely dead." The Judicator, Inferno Dragon, lowered its giant head and growled. "Mortal, are you not afraid?" Yishao stood tall, forcing himself to sound tough. "Kill me if you must. I'm not afraid." Though inside, he was screaming. Who isn't afraid? Anyone who's not scared is a damn lunatic. The Judicator, Luminous Dragon, lowered its head next. "Mortal, there is no need to fear. The egg you took is the final bloodline of our kind. We brought you here to grant you a chance to rewrite your destiny." At that moment, the Inferno Dragon roared in rage. "You named our sacred hatchling. Shall we? How dare you give a dragon such a disgraceful name?" Luminous Dragon ignored him and said solemnly, "There's no time. We begin now." The two Judicator-class dragons flew into the air, wings spread wide, voices echoing across the land. In the name of the dragon god. Yishao froze in terror, waving frantically. Wait. What are you doing? I was just joking earlier. Please don't kill me. Leave me alive. I'll do anything. Be your mount, your pet. Name it." Toad screamed from the side. "Hey, I don't even know this guy that well. The egg stealing? Not my fault. I was framed, I swear." The very next moment, the two dragons focused their power, channeling it directly into the eyes of the dormant stone dragon. Suddenly, the statue trembled and began to move as if it had come to life. The stone dragon slowly turned its head toward Yishao, opened its massive stone jaws, and unleashed a beam of golden energy. A deep, booming voice echoed through the sky. "Bestowal, the blessing of the dragonkin. Mortal, receive the infusion of the dragon god's power." Meanwhile, chaos reigned on the Doomsday forums. Big update. Second place on the leaderboard has changed. Mingwei is out, replaced by someone called Genie Yeshing. Also, Yizhao's been missing for 3 whole days since the dragon incident. Players were speculating wildly. Where did Yishao go? Did he cut a secret deal with the dragons? Is that how he got so strong? Some are skeptical, even gloating. He's probably dead for good this time. Not just 3 days, he won't be back in 30. But over in the game, Yi Xiao received a new system message, frowny face. You have received the Dragon God's blessing. Your power has greatly increased. Your beast companion, Xiao Hui, has also been blessed. He's stronger than ever. Yi Xiao opened his eyes. He now stood in the middle of a level 40 wilderness zone. The dragons were gone without a trace. Quickly opening his status panel, he frowned. Wait, Dragon God's blessing. My stats barely changed, and my skills nothing new either. Did I get scammed by 2 overgrown lizards? Wait a sec, did I just unlock a new skill? Yi Xiao blinked at his interface. Money shield. Converts every 100 gold into 1 point of shield HP. He glanced at his account balance. 1.81 billion gold. Holy crap, does that mean I have 18 million shield HP right now? Is this for real? And it has NO cooldown. Yi Xiao was practically vibrating. This is insane. I'm gonna fly from the hype. Toad muttered beside him. You lucky bastard. That's not just good luck. That's divine grade luck. Hold up. Yi Xiao suddenly thought of something. If my fortune class got new talent, what about Beastmaster? He opened his Beastmaster panel that a few seconds later, he shouted, No way. Unlimited beast slots. I can summon as many companions as I want. This has to be a dream. Someone wake me up. Toad's eyes nearly popped out. Even Royal Beastmasters are capped at 3 core beasts, and you just got infinite summons? Dude, you broke the game. Yi Xiao didn't hesitate. He dropped his knees and bowed furiously to the sky. Great dragon gods. From now on, I'm with you. I swear I'll burn incense for your ancestors every day. This is too much blessing. Moments later, Yi Xiao and Toad arrived at the level 30 trial hall. The guard at the entrance recognized him instantly. Ah, Lord Yi Xiao, are you here to challenge the abyssal trial? As he spoke, the great doors creaked open and a blast of icy wind whooshed out, followed by a massive, echoing rumble. Boom! The guard bowed deeply and solemnly declared, Lord Yi Xiao, may fortune be with you. As soon as Yi Xiao entered the abyssal trial, he found himself in a snowy mountain range, with blizzards howling all around. Shivering, he grumbled, Damn, it's freezing. If I'd known it was going to be like this, I'd have worn more layers. Suddenly, rumble, rumble, rumble. A massive sound came from behind. Yi Xiao turned just in time to see a giant snowball barreling toward him. He didn't hesitate, dodged to the side in a flash, narrowly escaping impact. Why are you dodging? Toad shouted. You got money shield now, remember? Just take the hit. Yi Xiao blinked. Oh, right. I'm basically a pay-to-win tank now. Just then, a 3-meter-tall, mutated snowman charged out of the mist, roaring with rage as it lunged at Yi Xiao. Yi Xiao pointed forward. Xiao Hui, show this oversized snow cone who's boss. Xiao Hui inhaled deeply, then unleashed a searing blast of Dragon Emperor's breath, scorching the snow-covered battlefield. The snowman didn't even last 2 seconds before collapsing to the ground. System: White fur, mutant snowman defeated. Yi Xiao stared in disbelief. Toad, did you see that? Xiao Hui just one-shot a mutant snowman. Yi Xiao checked Xiao Hui's status panel and was absolutely stunned. Dragonkin Monarch. Mythic Bloodline. Skill list: Frowny Face, Dragon Emperor's Breath, World-Shaking Presence, Absolute Suppression, Emperor's Fangs, Rage of the Dragon Emperor, Power of the Dragon God. This is beyond broken. Is this even legal? Suddenly, a massive horde of monsters burst through the snowstorm, charging straight at them. Yi Xiao grinned with excitement. Xiao Hui, looks like we've got ourselves a warm-up round. Slaughter them all. With a roar, Xiao Hui took to the sky. Hovering above the mob, he unleashed a searing blast of Dragon Emperor's breath. 30 minutes later, boss defeated. Abyssal Seeker, King Tier. The system flashed with an achievement notice. Yi Xiao smugly brushed imaginary dust off his shoulder. King Tier? That's it. Toad rolled his eyes. Didn't you cry when this thing one-shot you last time? Soon after, a global system announcement rang out. Frowny Face player, Yi Xiao has completed the level 30 Abyssal Advancement Trial. Server first. The forums exploded. He's been silent for days. Turns out he was prepping a god-tier comeback. Elsewhere, in a shadowy fortress, a red-robed man smirked. I knew it. A guy like that doesn't just fade away. A cloaked man added calmly. Passing the level 30 abyss? His potential is terrifying. The red-robed man rose to his feet. Let's head back to the capital. I want to meet this Yi Xiao in person. When he joins me, that's when the real game begins. Back in the snowfield, Yi Xiao held a shimmering stone fragment. The third abyss stone shard, huh? He frowned slightly. Just how many pieces are there? Yi Xiao looked at the heroic radiant stone in his hand and nodded. This stuff's actually useful. I can use it to further enhance my hero's emblem. Guess I'll head back to Windleaf City and pay that blacksmith a visit. This time, I'm definitely asking for a discount. After leaving the secret realm, he returned to Windleaf City. The moment he entered the gates, he noticed it right away. The place was packed. Wow, way more crowded than before, he muttered. Then again, makes sense. I've been MIA for days. The forums probably went nuclear. He walked up to the appraisal shop, only to see a huge line snaking out the front door. Ignoring the line, he strolled straight inside. Appraise this gear for me, he said casually. The shopkeeper didn't even look up. Get lost. Hugh's out there. Don't waste my time. But the moment the old man glanced up and saw Yi Xiao's face, he froze in place. Then, in the blink of an eye, his attitude did a full 180-degree. Smiling like sunshine, he rushed over. Oh, it's you. The money god himself. Please come in. Come in. The people in line outside immediately exploded in outrage. Who the hell is that? He just walked in like royalty. One of those rich boy first-class citizens, huh? Unreal. Yi Xiao ignored the noise and pulled out his glowing hero's emblem. Here, strengthen this. The shopkeeper's eyes gleamed as he took the emblem with both hands. Absolutely, sir. Right away. A treasure like this, if I break it, I'll be paying off my debt for the rest of my life. The shopkeeper carefully placed Yi Xiao's hero's emblem on the workbench. Then he raised his tempered forging hammer and brought it down gently. Clang! A blinding golden light erupted from the emblem, so intense that everyone around shielded their eyes. Damn, that light's brighter than my future. Yi Xiao squinted at the item's info panel. Still legendary tier. Huh, doesn't seem like much of a boost. But the flash had already drawn the attention of the players outside. Wait, isn't that Yi Xiao, the legend himself? In an instant, the line dissolved into chaos. Players rushed into the shop shouting, Yi Xiao, can we add you as a friend? Where'd you get that gear? I'll pay. Just name your price. Dude, take me on a run. My sister's super hot. I can hook you up. The shopkeeper turned red with frustration and shoved them all out. 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 This ain't your playground. That man is on another level. Once the crowd was gone, Yi Xiao gave a helpless sigh. Low profile. Yeah, that ship has definitely sailed. He pulled out a few more items. Can you appraise these two? From the window, the crowd nearly passed out. Wait, are those all dark gold items? My heart, my poor heart. Hey, big bro, if you're not using that gear, maybe sell it to us. Please. It didn't take long for the Apocalypse Forum to blow up. News of Yi Xiao showing up in Windleaf City and identifying dark gold gear spread like wildfire. Players swarmed the appraisal shop like a tidal wave, shouting, I must become Yi Xiao's disciple today. Swamped by the overwhelming fanfare, Yi Xiao had no choice but to hide nearby, desperate not to get mobbed. He was completely exhausted, couldn't even walk down a street without getting recognized. Just as he sighed in frustration, a man in red appeared out of nowhere and asked coldly, Are you Yi Xiao? Yi Xiao narrowed his eyes. Who's asking? The red-robed man raised his hand calmly. Relaxed, we're not here to harm you. We're here to propose a trade. A trade? You looking by dark gold gear? The man smirked. Something like that. But trust me, I'm offering a deal you literally can't refuse. Yi Xiao chuckled. Unless you're throwing down over 10 billion gold coins, I'm not interested. The man frowned. 10 billion gold. How about you're still stuck thinking like a player? Pathetic. Yi Xiao blinked. Wait, who the hell is this guy? I don't remember anyone like him in my last life. And Is he seriously outflexing me? As for this red-clad assassin, Yi Xiao did recognize him in his past life. He was one of the top-tier solo players, refused to join any faction, always worked alone, deadly, and unpredictable. Yi Xiao cut to the chase. What do you really want? The man replied smoothly. Honestly, seeing you dominate the rankings told me you're the real deal. But here's the thing. You still haven't realized just how much power in this game can translate to real-world gains. Curious to see just how far this guy would go. Yi Xiao gestured, "Go on, I'm listening." The man leaned closer, voice firm. "I don't make empty promises. Money, status, women, whatever you want, name it, and it's yours. So, time to decide. Join us." Yi Xiao patted his arm and smiled. "Hey man, the fact you came all the way here to talk means you recognize my strength, that I appreciate that." The red-clad man smiled back, thinking he had sealed the deal. But in the very next second, flames flared up in Yi Xiao's palm. "But I've got a problem with kids who try too hard to act cool. So, I'm sending you to the respawn point to cool off." The red-robed man flinched. "Wait, you're attacking me. You sure you want to do that here of all places?" Before he could finish his sentence, a blazing fireball hit him square in the chest. His HP dropped by 3,346 in an instant. The red-clad man's underlings immediately ready to strike. But he stopped them with a sharp command. "Stand down. This is the main city. Combat is strictly forbidden. You really want to deal with the consequences?" Yi Xiao tossed 2 bags onto the ground, filled with gold and gear, and turned to leave. "Consider this your severance pay. Don't waste your lives following someone going nowhere." As his figure disappeared, one of the men muttered, shaken, "He's insane. Killing someone in the main city like that. He's a total lunatic." Just then, the Windleaf City Guard arrived, shouting, "Who dares to fight here? This is outrageous." A squad of guards quickly surrounded Yi Xiao and the others. "No one moves. You're all under investigation." One officer stepped forward, furious. "Who had the guts to commit murder in the main city? Do you have a death wish?" Yi Xiao replied calmly, "That was me." The officer was about to explode, until he glanced at Yi Xiao's ID. His expression changed in an instant. "Wait, you're a first-class citizen?" "My apologies, sir. This must be a misunderstanding. Would you mind explaining what happened? I'll need it for the report." Yi Xiao responded lightly, "Not much, that he threatened me. So, I clean up the trash." The officer bowed instantly. "What? A vagabond dared insult a first-class citizen?" "Sir, maintaining order is our job. If anything like this ever happens again, please let us handle it. Don't dirty your hands." Yi Xiao chuckled. "Don't worry, IT was nothing." The assassin's henchmen were stunned. "Wait, what? He just walks away like that?" With that, the city guard stood down and dispersed. One of the guards leaned in and whispered, "Captain, why didn't we arrest that guy? He literally killed someone." The officer snapped, "How many times do I have to tell you? In our line of work, it's all about details. Pay attention to the damn details. That man was a first-class citizen, didn't you see? And not just any citizen. He's the one the Duchess herself has been desperately looking for. Word is, she's been losing her mind over it. You think someone like him is the same as the rest? If we report this up the chain, we might just hit the jackpot." Meanwhile, inside the Duchess's estate, Lady Shirelli was pacing anxiously. Still no news of Yi Xiao. It's been days. Just then, a maid burst through the door. Madam, we found Lord Yi Xiao." Lady Shirelli jumped to her feet. "Where is he? Tell me, where is he right now?" Back at the respawn point, the red-robed man had just revived, and he was fuming. "You useless idiots! Why didn't you attack him?" His men shrugged helplessly. "Boss, that was Windleaf City. Nobody dares start a fight there." After calming himself down, the red-robed man spoke coldly. "I lost my composure. He's already level 30. It's only natural that you couldn't beat him, that I expected as much. But it was my mistake, letting him think he's on my level. Soon, he'll learn just how foolish it is to cross me." He turned to the assassin and ordered, "Didn't you learn stealth? Get back to the city and retrieve my dropped gear." Suddenly, Yi Xiao's voice cut in. "Don't bother, I didn't take your stuff. But judging by the way things are going, you won't be needing it anyway." The red-clad man's eyes widened. Wait, this is a respawn zone. You can't just attack me here. The security level's like 10 times higher than the main city. Yi Xiao calmly raised his staff. Ever heard the saying? If you don't pull up the roots, the weeds grow back in spring. Then, wham! Another fireball blasted into the red-robed man, wiping 3,215 HP in an instant. His followers were just about to retaliate. But Yi Xiao's glare stopped them cold. 1 death, 10 deaths. It's all the same to me. Go ahead. Make my day. Seconds later, the red-robed man respawned yet again. This time, with a face as green as his HP bar. The red-robed man roared. Yi Xiao, what the hell is your problem? Don't push it too far. If anything happens to me, it won't just be you, your friends, your family. They'll all go down with me. Yi Xiao sneered. Empty threats? He'd heard worse. Without a word, he hurled another fireball straight at the guy's face. The surrounding players went nuts. Dude, Yi Xiao is killing people in the respawn zone. Has he lost it? That's basically suicide. A blonde-haired player looked around and muttered, Wait, why isn't that guy respawning? Don't tell me. He got force logged out? Moments later, a group of black-robe enforcers stormed in, shouting, Who dares shed blood in the respawn zone? The assassin lit up like he'd found his saviors. Yi Xiao, even if you're strong, the black-robe enforcers won't let this slide. You're done for. Yi Xiao hadn't expected to attract the attention of them, that he knew. Fighting now would only cause unnecessary losses. Calmly, he leapt down from the ledge and said to the enforcers, Yeah, I'm the one who did it. I'll go with you. Meanwhile, in the real world, a young man lay motionless on a hospital bed. Beside him, a panicked butler cried, Young master, wake up, please. An older man rushed into the room, face pale. What happened? What's wrong with my son? The butler trembled. Sir, he was killed in the game. In the real world, the old man exploded in rage. What? Who did this? Who killed my boa? I want his entire family buried with him. Meanwhile, in the game world, Yi Xiao had been brought to the Imperial Court of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. The judge stared him down. Yi Xiao, first-class citizen of Windleaf City. You stand accused of violating city law by repeatedly killing another player in the respawn zone. How do you plead? Yi Xiao stood calmly. He and his group harassed me, then threatened my life and the lives of those around me. I acted to defend the dignity of a first-class citizen. The courtroom erupted. He admitted it. He spawned camped the guy 5 times. That's insane. Even the respawn zone isn't safe anymore. If you piss off Yi Xiao, you die again and again. Does that mean if Yi Xiao wants someone dead, it's basically game over for them? The judge slammed his staff. Yi Xiao, for your offense, and given that this is your first violation, I hereby sentence you to lifetime exile from the Eastern District. Yi Xiao was just about to respond when a calm, commanding voice interrupted. Your Honor, the man he killed was a low-tier vagabond who insulted a first-class citizen. That be why both law and reason. Yi Xiao acted in self-defense. The room fell silent. Lady Shirelli had arrived. The judge quickly stood and bowed in respect. She continued, her tone gentle but firm. Yi Xiao is my personal friend, that I will not allow him to be judged unfairly. Don't you agree? Lord Eater? The judge cleared his throat. Of course, Lady Shirelli is absolutely right, and why previous ruling was hasty. According to Windleaf City law, any vagabond who threatens a first-class citizen deserves death. With a wave of his hand, he ordered Yi Xiao's shackles removed. Lady Shirelli smiled lightly. Lord Eater, since Yi Xiao has been declared innocent, and if there's nothing else, may we be on our way? And just like that, Yi Xiao left the courtroom in style, personally escorted by the Duchess herself. On the way, Lady Shirelli looked at him with concern. I heard you were captured by a dragon. I've had people searching high and low for you, that I'm so relieved to see you safe. Yi Xiao nodded calmly. Yeah, I was taken, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I managed to gain something valuable. Lady Shirelli's eyes sparkled with curiosity. Then you must come back to the estate and tell me everything. Who knows? Your adventure might even inspire a new poem or two. Yi Xiao agreed with a smile and asked, "By the way, is Master Stir still at your estate? I'd like to ask him about the second-class advancement quest." Lady Shirelli blinked in surprise. "You've already hit level 30? That's incredibly fast." When they arrived at the Duke's estate, Master Stir was equally stunned. "Ah, the one whose soul power filled 5 crystal orbs. With leveling speed like that, I feel like an amateur." Yi Xiao bowed respectfully. "You flatter me, Master Stir, but when it comes to the second advancement quest, I'd still appreciate your wisdom." To his surprise, Master Stir shook his head and sighed. "Honestly, when it comes to the second advancement for hidden classes, not even I know the full truth that in fact, even if you search the entire continent, I doubt anyone could give you a clear answer. The realm of the gods is far too mysterious." Lady Shirelli looked alarmed. "Then what do we do? Are you saying Yi Xiao might not be able to complete his second-class advancement?" Master Stir reassured her. "No need to panic. According to legend, advancing a hidden class requires divine approval. That's the only way." Instantly, a name popped into Yi Xiao's mind: the Lost Temple. Stir's eyes widened. "You've heard of the Lost Temple?" Yi Xiao nodded. "Just rumors. But if we're talking about the most mysterious place in Doomsday, the Lost Temple is definitely top tier." Lady Shirelli's eyes sparkled. "You even know about that? You really have seen the world?" Master Stir added, "They say the temple appears like a mirage. There one moment, gone the next. Blink and you miss it." Suddenly, a system prompt popped up. / you have accepted the class advancement quest. Find the Lost Temple. Seeing that, Toad muttered, "Sheesh, with a quest this vague, your second class is basically doomed." Without a word, Yi Xiao turned and left the estate, his next adventure already in mind. Toad followed behind, scratching his head. "Seriously though, where are we even supposed to start looking? The whole continent's like a giant haystack." But Yi Xiao had another plan. "That can wait. Right now, there's something more urgent. Tomorrow, the first aberration invasion will begin." The aberration invasion, when the gates to another world open, unleashing a swarm of twisted horrors from the abyss. When that happens, Windleaf City will be ground zero. Every creature slaughtered, every building left in ruins. Toad nearly jumped out of his skin. "You're joking, right? We should be getting the hell out. You and me, guarding your real estate. Don't kid yourself." Yi Xiao chuckled. "Rely on you? Not happening. But when it comes to fighting aberrations, there's only one person who comes to mind." He pulled out a summoning badge and activated it. A glowing portal appeared before him as he shouted, "Sister Tao? You there?" Tao Xiangnai's voice came through, annoyed. "Ugh, not you again. Every time you call me, something explodes. What did you do now? Tick off another ancient dragon?" Yi Xiao scratched his head awkwardly. "No dragons this time. Promised, and I'm staying right here in Windleaf City. And field trips." Tao rolled her eyes. "In the capital, what danger could possibly require me? What, you want me to beat up the city lord for you?" Yi Xiao waved his hands. No, I just need you to guard my estate in the West District starting at midnight. Standard pay." Tao blinked. "Wait, that's it. You want me to babysit a couple buildings? You're not secretly digging another pit for me, are you?" Of course. Yi Xiao didn't plan to tell her what was really coming, that he just smiled innocently. Seeing nothing obviously wrong, Tao finally agreed. "Fine, I'll see you tonight, sharp." Toad leaned in and muttered, "Congrats, another successful scam." Yi Xiao shrugged. "Scam? Nonsense, I'm doing this for her own good. You just don't get it." He checked the time. Still got a bit left, time to hit one more level. Gotta prep for tomorrow's invasion. After logging out of Doomsday, he scrolled through the game forum. .1 post caught his eye. Yi Xiao kills the same player 5 times in respawn zone. Victim dies IRL. Should we push for real name verification? Yi Xiao scoffed. "Here we go. Classic smear campaign? They're just trying to trace my real identity now. Pathetic." He shut the page and rubbed his temples. Let them stir up drama. The real battle starts tonight, and I'll need all the rest I can get. As night fell, countless players were forcibly logged into Doomsday. What's worse, logout was disabled. Right on time, Tao Xiangnai appeared at Yi Xiao's estate, yawning. "So, dragging me out in the middle of the night. You could better not just want to chat that, or did you suddenly get rich and bored? Yi Xiao grinned. Patience, Tao Jie, you'll see soon enough. Tonight, all my properties in the West District are counting on you. Tao smirked and patted her chest. Relax. With me here, not even a brick goes missing. Suddenly, boom, thunder roared across the sky, followed by blinding streaks of lightning. Yi Xiao's expression turned serious. Tao Jie, buff up. Now. As if reality had torn apart, a massive rift split open the sky, and wave after wave of monsters came flooding through. Panicked screams erupted. It's here. It's really happening. The aberration invasion. Alarms blared throughout Windleaf City. Soldiers shouted, "We're under attack. Aberration breach. City-wide code red. No one leaves. All magisters to the walls now." Chaos consumed the city. Monsters rampaged through streets, slaying civilians and smashing homes to rubble. The capital turned into a nightmare. While blasting enemies left and right, Tao shouted, "How the hell did you know this was going to happen? These level 40 creeps are manageable, but if it gets any worse." Yi Xiao cut in, eyes blazing. "Tao Jie, you've got this. You're not just anyone. You're a god-tier curse master." Staring up at the monster towering over them, easily dozens of times her size, Tao Xiangnai's face went pale. "Are you kidding me? That's a level 100 aberration lord boss. You tricked me again, you little brat. Every single time you call me, it's never anything normal." Yi Xiao feigned innocence. "Come on, Tao Jie. You said you'd protect every brick of my West District property." Gritting her teeth, Tao raised her staff. 5 thunderbolts came crashing down from the heavens, slamming straight into the boss's head. The massive creature collapsed with a deafening thud. Yi Xiao grinned. "That's my Tao Jie. One shot, and the boss is already down for the count." But before he could finish basking in the moment, even more monsters emerged, including flying elite bosses swooping in from the skies. Tao panicked. "Stop gawking and do something. These things are going to kill themselves." Yi Xiao immediately summoned Xiao Hui. "Go, Xiao Hui. Target the elites. Full force." One of the elite bosses dove toward the city wall, letting out a bone-rattling screech as shockwaves cracked the battlements. The magisters and guards fought tooth and nail to hold the line, but they were already at their limit. The boss was pushing through. Suddenly, Xiao Hui looped around and launched a surprise attack from behind, slamming into the boss's weak spot. A system message popped up. /elite aberration boss defeated. Rewards. Rare soulstone ×2, grade 8 chest ×1. Yi Xiao watched in horror as another one of his shops crumbled into rubble. "Xiao Hui, watch your aim." That was my highest renting storefront. But there was no time to mourn. More elite bosses were incoming. "Xiao Hui, get back out there. Take them down." With the force of cannonball, Xiao Hui blasted forward, tearing through the enemies. Within seconds, all the elites were down. A system notification popped up. /level up. You are now level 32. Yi Xiao fist pumped. Knew it. Nothing boosts XP like boss hunting. He turned back toward Tao Xiangnai. "Tao Jie, the West District's all yours. I'm off to farm more bosses with Xiao Hui." Tao shouted from behind. "Are you kidding me? What do I look like, a 12-limbed goddess? This job better come with a raise." Yi Xiao and Xiao Hui continued their rampage. While Xiao Hui handled the fighting, Yi Xiao looted everything in sight, and suddenly he found something glowing. A purple-tier legendary ring. The Ring of Devouring. Yi Xiao's eyes lit up. "Let's go. Xiao Hui, keep it up. We're getting rich tonight." Meanwhile, outside Windleaf City, a team of players was being chased by several elite bosses that a few of their teammates were already down, maybe for good. One of the bosses lunged that a player named Hurricane LV8 barely managed to raise a shield in time. Gasping for air, he cried, "Boss, I can't hold on much longer." Their leader, Green Bamboo, gritted his teeth. "Everyone fall back. These bosses are way beyond us. We can't win this fight." Hurricane LV8 gritted his teeth. "Run. I can hold them off for maybe 5 more seconds." Just as he finished speaking, An elite boss slammed him with a massive claw, sending him flying like a rag doll. His teammates screamed, "Hurricane! Hurricane, wake up!" But he didn't move, unconscious or worse. The boss loomed over them, massive and unrelenting. One player whispered in despair, "This is it. We're all going to die here." Suddenly, boom! A fireball came blazing in from the distance, slamming into the elite boss. Its HP plummeted, 7985 in one hit. With a deafening crash, the boss collapsed. Green Bamboo gasped. "No way, it got one shot." He looked up and spotted a figure hovering in the sky. A small dragon, covered in silver-blue scales. The IT was Xiao Hui. In the next instant, Xiao Hui let out a mighty roar. The sheer pressure of its dragon aura stunned all nearby elite bosses. Seizing the moment, Xiao Hui unleashed its Dragon Emperor's breath, incinerating the stunned bosses in a sea of flames. Green Bamboo could only stare in awe. That dragon's insane. Another player dropped to his knees, shouting, "Gods, did you actually hear my prayers?" In the distance, Yi Xiao waved at Xiao Hui. "Come on, let's move it. I think I spotted a few more bosses up ahead." A few nearby players squinted, then gasped. "Wait, is that Yi Xiao?" The Yi Xiao. Green Bamboo took off running after him. "Yi Xiao, please wait." Yi Xiao turned around, expression calm. "Need something?" The players rushed forward. "Thank you for saving us earlier. If you ever need help, we'll follow you through fire and storm." Yi Xiao chuckled. "Don't mention it. Just happened to be passing by." "Oh, and by the way, if you're not boss hunting, West District's your safest bet for now." A female player squealed, "He's so cool." A blonde guy blushed hard. "I swear, if I were a girl, I have his babies." Meanwhile, Yi Xiao frowned as he watched Xiao Hui wasting time on small mobs. No point wasting time on trash mobs. "Xiao Hui, let's head to the front gate. That's where the real invasion's happening." Following his advice, Green Bamboo's group moved to the West District. Sure enough, the area was much safer. One player muttered, "If this place is safe, why is Yi Xiao still out there risking his life? Wait, is he grinding bosses to level up?" Right then, the girl shouted, "Look, Yi Xiao just leveled up again. Level 35. Weren't you just 31 yesterday? That's insane. How many bosses has he killed?" Suddenly, a massive fireball streaked across the sky, blazing straight for the city gate. Boom! It smashed into Windleaf City's walls with a thunderous explosion. Yi Xiao gazed at the main gate of Windleaf City. Ruined walls, monsters rampaging. The scene was nothing short of devastating. His eyes locked on a not-so-distant level, 100 Lord tier boss, the Skeleton King. He knew full well it'd be hard to take it down alone. A soldier rushed up, shouting, "Lord Iter, the shield wall at the gate has been completely destroyed. The archers can't hold their formation. The healers can't keep up. We can't last much longer. Should we abandon the first line and retreat? Please give the order." Seeing the hopeless situation, Iter gritted his teeth and ordered a withdrawal. Just then, he spotted a flash of lightning in the distance. Gasps erupted from the troops. "A god-tier expert is making a move. We're saved. Brothers charge." On the other side, Tao Xiangnai glared at Yi Xiao. "Brat, you didn't call me here in such a rush just so you could take down that level 100 Lord tier boss, did you?" He grinned. "Ah, Sister Tao, you're sharp. Just get me close to it. I've got a way to kill it." She arched a brow. "That's a level 100 Lord tier aberrant boss. Even I wouldn't just casually claim I could kill it." "You're serious?" Yi Xiao's voice was firm. "Dead serious. Truer than pearls." "All right. In that case, I'll send you off properly. Here, have a buff." Yi Xiao grinned. "Sister Tao, as a god-tier sorceress, shouldn't you clear me a path first so I can face the Lord-tier boss head-on?" "Fine. You got guts. I'll clear the way." Tao Xiangnai strode forward, raising her staff high. Two nearby boss monsters were instantly engulfed in roaring flames. Seizing the opening, Yi Xiao darted past several bosses, heading straight for the Skeleton King. "Lady Tao Xiangnai, with you here, Windleaf City is saved." Iter exclaimed. "Cut the chatter. Take your men and secure the North District." Leave this to us, she ordered. A soldier gaped. Is that a level 30? Something beast tamer challenging a lord tier boss? Don't question it. Follow Lady Tao Xiangnai's orders. Move to the North District. Ida barked. Moments later, Yi Xiao and Tao Xiangnai stood before the massive level 100 lord tier boss. The toad muttered, "Brat, if you die, don't drag me down with you. I'm not cleaning up your corpse." Yi Xiao smirked. "Relax. It's hunting time." The Skeleton King, affronted by the human's challenge, raised his massive axe and swung without hesitation. Tao Xiangnai blocked the Skeleton King's blows while shouting, "Brat, any day now, make your move." Yi Xiao calmly pulled a badge from his pocket. "Relax, Sister Tao. Just watch." Pointing it at the Skeleton King, he shouted, "Badge of brutality." A brilliant beam of light shot from the badge, striking the boss squarely. The badge's brutal execution and instant death effects triggered simultaneously. In the blink of an eye, the Skeleton King was torn apart, his massive bones collapsing to the ground with a thunderous crash. The toad's eyes bulged. That actually killed a Lord-tier boss in one shot. Ding! World announcement. Player Yi Xiao of the Daxia region has slain a level 100 Lord-tier boss, achieving the first kill. Reputation plus 1,000. Attribute points plus 200. Daxia War Zone score plus 1. Ding! Congratulations! Player Yi Xiao has reached level 40. Player Qingfeng Sueju was stunned. Wait! Yi Xiao went out of the city earlier to kill a boss. Other players erupted in excitement. He's way too strong. The guy's insane. Does he take followers? Boss, let's just pledge ourselves to Yi Xiao. This game's power gap is ridiculous. Then came the loot. Defeating the level 100 Lord tier boss yielded Shield of the Divine, Scorching Stone, Starcaller's Staff, and Blazing Flame Stone. Holding the Starcaller's Staff, Yi Xiao marveled. As expected of a Lord tier boss, its drops are on a whole different level. At that moment, the toad dug out an artifact. It was an item, Ravager's Horn of the Destroyer. Yi Xiao grinned inwardly. The spoils from this invasion were worth more than a legendary tier quest. Soon, all the strange monsters withdrew back into the rift. Cheers erupted from the survivors. We made it. The invasion's over. We've won. We're still alive. When the Windleaf City Lord awoke, his first order was, "Take me to the battlefield. Those abominations must not set foot in the city." His aide reported, "My lord, the invasion ended over an hour ago. While you were unconscious, Lord Yi Xiao and Lady Tao Xiangnai repelled the monsters. Repairs are already underway." The city lord sighed in admiration. To think there's another talent of this caliber besides Lady Tao. Someone who saved Windleaf in our darkest hour. Turn, make arrangements. I will meet Lord Yi Xiao personally to thank him. Before long, the city lord and the duchess personally met with Yi Xiao and Tao Xiangnai. The city lord spoke solemnly. "Thank you both for your righteous aid. Without you, it's hard to say if Windleaf City could have survived this calamity. On behalf of all our citizens, I extend my heartfelt gratitude." The duchess added, "My lord, you're being too modest. This victory was largely thanks to Lord Yi Xiao personally slaying the Lord tier boss." Yi Xiao waved it off with a smile. "Not at all, Sister Tao. You're flattering me. It was just an abomination invasion, merely a small effort on my part." At that moment, the system chimed. Favorability with Aaron plus 20. You have earned the city lord's respect, and the title, Friend of Windleaf, unlocked. Tao Xiangnai soon departed for the Supreme Temple to handle other affairs, while Yi Xiao stayed behind to discuss business with the city lord. The city lord consulted with the duchess. Half of Windleaf lies in ruins, with the once prosperous East District devastated. The remaining intact buildings are mostly in the West District, so I was hoping the duchess could release some of that property. The duchess shook her head. "That's not for me to decide. Most of the West District now belongs to Lord Yi Xiao." The city lord turned to Yi Xiao instead, asking if he would be willing to transfer some of his holdings. For Yi Xiao, it wasn't an issue. So long as the price was right, he was open to discussion. The city lord responded instantly. Name your price, Lord Yi Xiao, and I'll have the Windleaf Bank prepare your gold immediately. Seeing his decisiveness, Yi Xiao said, I'll keep only a few large shops at the main intersection. The rest can be transferred to you, my lord. At that moment, the Duchess spoke up. Given the recent events in Windleaf City, I've already submitted a full report to the royal court. And Yi Xiao's heroism, well, the entire city has witnessed it. Therefore, I intend to petition the crown to grant Lord Yi Xiao a noble title. Yi Xiao hadn't expected such an unexpected windfall to come his way. The city lord, meanwhile, was quietly astonished. The lofty Duchess showing such favor to a young man? Is there more between them? Still, he had no objection to the proposal and pledged his full support. Yi Xiao gently took the Duchess's hand and placed a kiss on the back of it. Thank you, Sophia. I truly don't know how to repay you and the city lord for this. Elsewhere in the real world, Qin Yinren clutched her phone, nearly shouting, Zhou Hong. Zhou Hong, answer me. Stop messing around, will you? If you keep joking like this, I'll be really angry. Zhou Hong, you'd better not be dead. Zhou Hong, you useless fool. I spent all my savings to buy you that gear, and you couldn't even handle a single abomination. What am I supposed to do now? Suddenly, she slapped her thigh. Right, I can still go to Yi Xiao. That worthless Zhou Hong. I was blind to ever believe in him. He led me astray. Or else Yi Xiao and I wouldn't have ended up like this. Now I see clearly. Yi Xiao is the one who's always treated me best. Yes, if I just apologize sincerely, we can go back to the way things were. This time, no matter what he asks for, I'll give it. As long as I bow my head, he'll forgive me. Yi Xiao, I'm coming, wait for me. In the game, many players had already made up their minds. No matter what, they were going to find a way to relocate to Windleaf City. The other cities were far too dangerous, and only Lord Yi Xiao could keep them safe. Some were already offering high prices for city transfer scrolls, saying the price was negotiable. At the same time, many players began seeking to purchase property in Windleaf City. Yi Xiao glanced at the sky. Too late in the day to head for any trials, so he decided to focus on forging some equipment instead. Unfortunately, the local forging shop had been destroyed during the abomination invasion. After thinking for a moment, Yi Xiao said to the shop owner, Come with me. I'll provide you with a forge and appraisal tools. He led the man to a luxurious house. Stepping inside, the shop owner gasped, Wow, Lord Yi Xiao, this is a top-tier forge. I never imagined such high-grade forging and appraisal equipment existed here in the West District. Tell me, who owns this shop? Yi Xiao smiled. If you're willing, you can run it. The profit model can be the same as before. This is one of my properties. It's been sitting idle, and now you're here at the perfect time. Really? I'm honored. So many appraisers in Windleaf are unemployed right now, and you're willing to take me in. I can't thank you enough, Lord Yi Xiao. Yi Xiao waved it off. No need for thanks. Let's get to business. Start with this piece of gear. Think you can successfully appraise it. This is the artifact you want appraised. The shop owner's eyes went wide. Even with the most advanced appraisal tools available, I can't guarantee success. With Yi Xiao's approving nod, the shop owner gritted his teeth and decided to give it everything he had. In the end, even after using advanced appraisal magic, he still failed. Seeing that the artifact was beyond the man's abilities, Yi Xiao decided to settle for the next best thing, having 3 epic tier items appraised instead. Afterwards, Yi Xiao arrived at the gates of the city lord's mansion, just in time to see a guard turning away someone asking to see the lord. But when Yi Xiao gave his name, the guards immediately ushered him inside with respect. Truly, the perks of being tied to the royal court. Meeting the city lord, Yi Xiao got straight to the point. I want to search for the lost races. The lost races? They've been gone for over 100 years, according to legend. That's like finding a needle in the ocean, the lord frowned. What do you need from me? Yi Xiao requested that the city lord post a bounty. Anyone who could locate a lost race would receive 5 million gold coins plus 3 pieces of dark gold gear. Seeing how generous the offer was, the city lord understood Yi Xiao's determination and agreed at once to issue the bounty. The next day, all players received a system announcement. Yi Xiao had reached level 40 and became the first in history to clear the level 40 Abyss trial. Reward: Epic tier item Heroic Radiant Stone. ++ 1 point for the Daxia Nation Warzone. Players marveled. That's insane. But now that he's hit level 40, his leveling speed should slow down, right? At that moment, Yi Xiao was locked in battle against the Abyssal Guide, the gatekeeper of the level 40 Abyss trial. The Abyssal Guide suddenly leapt high, launching a deadly strike at Yi Xiao. Yi Xiao instantly raised a protective barrier, fortifying his defenses. From above, Little Ash swooped down, unleashing a torrent of blazing dragon fire upon the Abyssal Guide. In no time, the Abyssal Guide was brought down. The toad grumbled, "Lucky you've got that money shield, or you'd be toast." Yi Xiao shot back. Pleased with the Dragon God's blessing, Little Ash's stats are skyrocketing. He looted the 4th fragment from the guide's corpse, muttering to himself, "Just how many of these will it take to make a complete set?" A system notification popped up. "The Lord of the City summons you immediately. The search for the lost race has new developments." Yi Xiao hurried to the City Lord's mansion and asked eagerly, "My lord, I heard there's news about the lost race?" An armored soldier reported, "In the forest outside the city, we spotted a group of unusually built dwarves. They matched the description of the race you're looking for." The soldier had stumbled upon them by accident while hiding in the forest during the monstrous invasion. Yi Xiao decided to go with the soldier himself, declining the suggestion to bring more troops. Meanwhile, a group of dwarves armed with finely crafted weapons was making its way through the dense forest. Not far away, a pair of figures hid in the bushes, one whispering, "I'll capture one alive and claim Yi Xiao's bounty. You can have the gold. I'll take the epic gear deal." The dwarf chieftain suddenly sensed something, eyes narrowing, and hurled his war hammer into the brush. One of the ambushers scoffed, "Huh, only 80 damage? That's nothing, I can tank." Before he could finish, the hammer erupted with a surge of lightning, dealing 87,231 points of damage to each of them instantly. Another hidden bystander gasped, 87,000 from one swing? Are these even people? These dwarves are insane. The dwarf Durin muttered impatiently, "Damn humans, always scheming. Just looking at them makes me sick. I told you, Soul, we never should have passed through human territory." Soul put a hand on Durin's shoulder to calm him, though his own tone was still curt. "I'm not here to be gawked at like some caged animal. If not for the safety of our clan, I'd have smashed them all flat by now." Meanwhile, Yi Xiao and the soldier were hurrying toward the dwarf's position in the forest. From the undergrowth, someone whispered, "Look, it's Yi Xiao. Now this'll be fun. Did you see the damage those dwarves can do? It's insane." The soldier reported, "Sir, the dwarves are just ahead in the forest." He quickly added a warning, "Sir, be careful. Their tempers are volatile, and their attacks are terrifying." Yi Xiao waved the soldier away, but the toad muttered, "Hey, brat, you're not just going to stroll right up to them, are you?" Seeing Yi Xiao approach without hesitation, Durin roared, "That filthy human dares come closer? I'll smash him with one swing." But Soul blocked him, narrowing his eyes at Yi Xiao. "Hold on, don't you think this human actually looks agreeable?" Durin paused for a moment, then suddenly said, "Forget it. I don't feel like smashing him anymore. Do you smell that? That scent on him? It's the aura of artifacts, and more than just one. Yeah, and it's insanely strong. Whatever he's carrying might be beyond artifact level weight. There's another scent, something familiar, but I can't quite place it, like from a long, long time ago. By the gods, it's the scent of divinity. I remember now. It's the aura of a great deity. Now that you mention it, I remember too. Yes, divine aura, huh? He's only level 40. That low. But his stats. Good heavens. Soul, look at his spirit stat. It's ridiculously high. With that kind of spiritual power, there's no doubt he's been guided by a god." When Yi Xiao walked right up to the dwarves without a fight breaking out, the onlookers were dumbfounded. That makes no sense. Why is it that if we go near them, we get hammered, but Yi Xiao can just stroll up like he's on a sightseeing tour? Sense? Huh. You're talking about logic in front of Big Shot? I swear, I thought only in the real world we had double standards. Turns out even a thick-browed, righteous-looking dwarf king can switch sides. Double standard. Huh. Still, gotta admit, the big guy always pulls moves we never see coming. This is pure entertainment. I've already got tomorrow's headline ready. Shocking. Top-ranked player caught passionately brawling with two muscular men, live. When Sol asked about the reason for Yi Zhao's visit, Yi Zhao said he had come seeking the help of the two dwarfs. But it wasn't to have them forge an artifact. He wanted information about the Lost Temple. Yi Zhao explained that his class advancement required divine assistance, and the only way to contact a god was through the Lost Temple. Durin, however, insisted that the Lost Temple was far too important to reveal to just anyone, unless Yi Zhao could prove he was truly trustworthy. Yi Zhao chuckled. Prove I'm a good guy? That's a bit tricky. In that case, let's try something else. I've got an artifact here. I want the two of you to appraise it. The smith who saw it said, no one could identify it. Are you sure you can? Are you kidding? We dwarves are the masters of forging. Those so-called smiths you mentioned? In our eyes, they're nothing but trash. Now, hand it over. Let me have a look. Huh. This artifact doesn't look like it was forged at all, right? There are no forging marks. It's an artifact formed naturally because its base quality is incredibly high, and after contact with a certain element, it evolved on its own. In other words, this is indeed one of the Destroyer God's horns, either broken off or shed naturally. How did you even get this? Yi Zhao replied casually, a few days ago, I killed the boss from that strange creature invasion. The dwarves were stunned. What? You're telling us you took down the ruler-class boss from the invasion? Does that mean you've actually been to the god's domain? Yi Zhao nodded, then urged them on. Yeah, so, can you appraise it or not? Of course we can. For us, it's not that hard. But the price will be very steep. Can you afford it? The frog croaked from the side, gloating. Looks like this brat's about to get fleeced. Go on, name a price and scare him a bit. Sol raised a hand, showing 5 fingers. At least this much. 500 gold coins. Yi Zhao and the frog both froze in shock. The dwarves thought they might have overshot the price and considered lowering it. Durin muttered under his breath. 500 gold, that's 50 sacks of rice. I've never even seen that much in my life. Sol adjusted quickly. All right, 300. That's my minimum. Any less, and you'll have to find someone else. Yi Zhao replied calmly. If you can successfully appraise the artifact, I'll pay you 1 million gold coins. What? 1 million? Both dwarves went stiff as statues. Durin's eyes bulged. 1 million gold could buy enough rice to last us a lifetime. Yi Zhao placed a pouch on the table. Here's 1,000 gold as a deposit. I'll also have someone deliver some food to you later. Such generosity instantly boosted the dwarves' favorability toward him by +20. Sol and Durin slapped their thighs in excitement. That many gold coins! I can't take it. Hand over the artifact. I'll appraise it right now, this instant. An hour later, the two dwarves finally completed the appraisal. The artifact was confirmed to be the berserk horn of the god of destruction. It was believed to be one of the god's own horns, infused with a strange, wild power, and perfected through the dwarves' unmatched craftsmanship to reveal its ultimate form. Yi Zhao marveled at the item in his hands. Dwarven skill truly lived up to its reputation. The artifact ability was devastating. Unleashing the power of the god of destruction dealt 300% strength plus spirit as magic damage to the target, removed the damage immunity attribute for 30 minutes, stripped other high-tier traits for 5 minutes. And if the target was a structure, it would forcibly destroy it and erase any divine power it contained. Sol urged, all right, the artifact appraised, how about paying up? Yi Zhao replied casually, don't worry, I always pay my debts. Pack up and follow me to Windleaf City to get your gold. Wait, you mean the human capital? Durin was taken aback. I've never been inside one before. That's right, I'll throw you a feast, all you can eat, and I've got plenty more artifacts I need forged. Fantastic. Never thought I'd get to feast in the human capital. Everyone, pack your things. We're heading out. The arrival of the dwarves in Windleaf City caused an uproar. No way. Not only did they not fight, he actually brought the whole dwarf tribe here? This is insane. Is this just how big shots operate? I can't even wrap my head around it. But hey, does this mean we might get to mooch off him and have the dwarves craft us some epic gear too? You know what? That might actually be possible. The dwarves were overjoyed by the lavish feast. This food, it's incredible. I've never tasted anything this delicious in my life. The waiter announced loudly. Everyone, eat to your heart's content. Tonight's bill is on Lord Yi Xiao. While Sol was savoring the meal, Yi Xiao seized the moment. So, can you tell me about the Lost Temple now? Sol produced an ancient temple detector, a relic passed down from their ancestors. When you get close to the temple of the fire god, this will react. With it, you can find the temple. But I still advise you to drop this idea, because something unimaginably terrifying dwells there. When Yi Xiao pressed for details, Sol admitted he had never seen it himself. He explained that long ago, under the fire god's guidance, their ancestors fled the temple because that terrifying creature had appeared. To contain it, the fire god created the extreme flame lands, a place no ordinary person could survive. Their ancestors warned the dwarves to avoid the temple for generations. But the temple of the fire god was key to Yi Xiao's class advancement. He had no choice but to go. Sol praised Yi Xiao's courage and presented him with two gifts, a temple detector and the fire spirit crystal, as thanks for treating the dwarves to such a grand feast. The fire spirit crystal granted the Dance of Flames buff, and Yi Xiao was thrilled. As expected of dwarven craftsmanship, the stats were excellent. He immediately tried to buy more fire spirit crystals, but Sol said there was only this one. However, Sol did have a few fire spirit orbs, less effective, but he offered to give some to Yi Xiao. Yi Xiao gratefully accepted the orbs, though he knew they weren't enough for what he had planned. He resolved to find other ways to prepare. The toad asked worriedly, "Kid, what's your plan for the fire god's temple?" Yi Xiao replied firmly, "For my class advancement, I'll go no matter how dangerous it is, and I'm not going alone." Meanwhile, Tao Xiangnai was trying on a new mage robe. Admiring her reflection, she said confidently, "This robe suits me best. It won't be long before those two old fools in the temple won't stand a chance against me." At that moment, a soldier rushed in, flustered. "Lady Tao Xiangnai, he's here. He's here." Moments later, Yi Xiao appeared in front of her, smiling. "Sister Tao, it's me." Tao Xiangnai rolled her eyes. "Oh great. You again. You never show up without trouble. So what is it this time? A dragon? Or some twisted boss?" Yi Xiao spread his hands with a grin. "Sister Tao, how can you say that? Do I look like someone who's always fighting and killing?" "Look like? You are. Cut the nonsense. Just say it." Yi Xiao replied casually. "It's nothing big, just planning to take a stroll through the fire god's temple." Tao Xiangnai shot to her feet. "The fire god's temple? You dare to mess with gods now? I'm impressed. Have a nice trip alone." Yi Xiao smiled. "Sister Tao, don't be so absolute. Everything's negotiable." Tao Xiangnai shook her head. "No deal. The fire god's temple does have countless treasures, but even if you want to go, you wouldn't be able to find it." Yi Xiao spread his hands. "Originally, I didn't plan to go, but then I accidentally got this, a compass from the dwarves that can detect the temple's location." Tao Xiangnai snorted. "Trying to fool me with some random compass? You think I believe that?" She took a closer look and froze. "It really is from the dwarves, but the temple is tied to the gods. I'm not going to die without knowing why. Be honest. Why are you going this time?" Yi Xiao replied calmly. "A job change." Tao Xiangnai sighed helplessly. "No wonder you're so determined." "Fine, give me a week to prepare." Yi Xiao cut her off. "No time. We leave now. If you're not coming, I'll just go alone." Tao Xiangnai's eyes widened. "What? Now? We haven't even discussed my payment yet." Yi Xiao grinned. "The fire god's temple has countless treasures, Sister Tao. Think it over. Anyway, I'm off." "Hey, wait. Without me protecting you, you won't even get inside the temple." 2 days later, Yi Xiao and Tao Xiangnai finally arrived at the Scorching Lands. The unbearable heat made both the toad and Tao Xiangnai sweat profusely. They couldn't help but grumble. Had Yi Xiao been tricked by the dwarves? Just then, the compass in Yi Zhao's hand began reacting more intensely. He figured they were close to their destination. Suddenly, a level 100 molten loach leapt out of the lava, blocking his path. Yi Xiao waved dismissively. Another lousy loach. Sister Tao, it's all yours. Tao Xiaonai rolled her eyes. I never want to eat grilled loach again in my life. She raised her staff and instantly froze the molten loach into an ice sculpture. But moments later, the creature shattered the ice. Then, countless molten loaches began appearing from all directions. Tao Xiaonai hadn't expected so many at once and was starting to panic. At that moment, the compass's reaction grew even stronger, and Tao Xiaonai sensed something was wrong. Suddenly, a massive gate slowly rose from the molten lava. The molten loaches didn't attack, but lingered near the gate, as if they were its guardians. Yi Xiao exclaimed, "This is the gate to the fire god's palace. Sis, this is my first time seeing it too." Suddenly, countless molten fire eels shot out from the lava, surging straight toward Yi Xiao and Momoka. Momoka instantly unleashed heaven's fivefold thunder, bolts of lightning crashing down and scattering the fiery eels. At the same time, Yi Xiao activated his money shield, forming a golden barrier around them. Holding the toad tight, he shouted, "Hang on, we're charging through. Momoka, give me a speed buff and cover me." "Got it, but don't forget my reward, brat." Momoka replied without hesitation. Just then, one of the molten eels spat a stream of fire at him, instantly burning away 300 HP. Even with the fire spirit crystal's protection, the damage was far higher than he expected. "Run, brat, I'm gonna get roasted alive here," the toad screamed from his arms. Enduring the scorching flames from several molten eels, Yi Xiao pushed forward, forcing his way toward the fire god's gate. "No one can stop me, not even a god." At last, he broke through the swarm and stepped into the fire god's palace. The first thing he felt was, this place was eerily desolate. Then, a giant statue clad in golden armor spoke, its voice booming. "Intruder, state your purpose." Yi Xiao declared that he had come to explore the ruins of the temple. The statue's eyes glowed a deep crimson, and it let out a chilling chuckle. "Hey, intruder, you require my blessing to awaken your potential. In that case, kneel before me. What are you waiting for?" Yi Xiao frowned. "Don't tell me the second-class advancement also requires a blessing." The statue replied, "Offer your sincerest praise and submission. Kneel, and I shall bless you and shield you from harm." The toad muttered, "Brat, there's something off about this statue." Yi Xiao felt the same. What kind of statue thought it could make him kneel? Insolence. To kneel before the great god of fire and crafts, Hephaestus, is the highest honor you could ever have. Now, show your sincerity, kneel. No sooner had the words left its mouth than the ground split open, vents spewing scorching flames that instantly burned 2,000 HP off Yi Xiao. Damn it, I'm a living, breathing man. No way I'm letting some busted statue push me around. God or not, I got artifacts too. Suddenly, without being summoned, Little Gray appeared on its own, leaving Yi Xiao momentarily stunned. In the blink of an eye, it lunged at the giant statue. A blast of dragon breath erupted. Damage, -99, 999. Yi Xiao and the toad stared in shock. Could the dragon's hatred for gods really be etched into their very bloodline? The statue was blasted into rubble. Yet even as it fell, it roared, "Wretched human, you dare defy my will. Do you realize this may free the demon sealed within the cage? You will pay for your arrogance. I will pin you to the depths of hell. Ding, you are under attack by an unknown divine force. Leave immediately. Leave immediately." Reading the system's warning, Yi Zhao's heart sank. Destroying the statue had clearly enraged the god. In moments, the fire god's palace began to crumble, the ground erupting with waves of searing flame. Yi Xiao stared up at the sky above, a chill running down his spine. Could that really be the fire god? Against a god he didn't stand a chance, was he really going to die here? Suddenly, a furious voice thundered through the hall. Hephaestus, you deserve to die. Before Yi Shao could locate the source, the ground beneath his feet gave way. He plunged straight down. Oh crap, the fire god's palace is having an earthquake. While falling, he hastily activated his money shield, but with constant attacks battering him, his gold drained at an alarming rate that he might be rich, but watching the numbers plummet made him wail, my money. By the time he crashed into the underground palace beneath the fire god's hall, the shield had already cost him a staggering 5,823,742 gold coins. Rising to his feet, he scanned his surroundings. Walls of roaring flame encircled the chamber, and at its center, a phoenix lay bound in heavy iron chains. Moving closer, he realized it was an undying divine phoenix, its rank, level, and attributes all completely unknown. Yi Shao wondered to himself, could this undying divine phoenix be the same demon-like creature Thor mentioned, the one sealed away by the fire god? Suddenly, the phoenix spoke, its voice harsh yet majestic. Human, was it you who shattered Hephaestus's statue? From the fire god's earlier tone, Yi Shao was certain the two were sworn enemies that he replied, that's right, it was me. The phoenix rumbled, well done, but I suggest you leave at once. If Hephaestus arrives, you'll meet a miserable end. Yi Xiao's eyes widened. He hadn't expected the fire god to return. The phoenix continued, of course he will. With the statue destroyed, I've awakened. IT won't be long before I break these chains, and he'll be here before that happens. If you can break free from a god's shackles, then why were you trapped in the first place? Yi Shao asked. The phoenix's voice flared with rage. Despicable. It was a vile scheme. That false god Hephaestus ambushed me while I was weakened from laying my egg. A spark lit in Yi Xiao's mind. An egg? Then there's a phoenix hatchling? Where is it? Maybe I can save it. The phoenix scoffed, seeing right through him. Human beast tamer, don't delude yourself. MY bloodline is far too noble for the likes of you to control. Yi Shao smirked and summoned Little Gray. What? Did you think I came here just to chat? Little Gray, show what you can do. This impossible. How can a mere human command a dragon of this caliber? No, this can't be. How could that old dragon god choose to bless a human? Yi Shao pulled out the horn of Berserk, his patience wearing thin. Cut the crap, but where's your offspring? The undying phoenix let out a resigned sigh. Perhaps this is fate. Take this feathered IT will guide you to it, within the sea of fire. Staring at the feather in his hand, Yi Shao grinned from ear to ear. Huh, another mythical beast is calling my name. The toad quickly warned him, don't get ahead of yourself, brat. You're really diving into a sea of flames this time. Sure enough, molten lava surged up all around, closing him incompletely. For a mythical beast, I'll dive into the fire no matter what. Luckily, the Fire Spirit King crystal boosted his fire resistance by 95%, or he'd already be roasted. Even so, the toad shouted, move it! This great lord's about to be cooked alive. Guided by the feather, Yi Shao dashed forward. Soon, he spotted a massive egg not far ahead, and the feather in his hand flew straight toward it. Up close, Yi Shao confirmed it beyond a doubt. This was a phoenix egg. Yi Shao clutched the phoenix egg excitedly. Toad, do you know how to hatch an egg? The toad deadpanned. I know how to make fried eggs. Just as he lifted the egg, an enraged voice roared. Who dares? A blast of flame shot out, shattering Yi Xiao's shield. Ah, that burns. Damn you, fire god. You and I aren't done. The next instant, a massive hand of molten lava came crashing down toward him. Brat, what are you waiting for? Run, the toad yelled. And so, a ridiculous scene unfolded. Yi Shao running for his life with a massive phoenix egg in his arms, a lava hand pounding after him. Run faster, brat. Why is it every time you come to a deadly place, it's to steal eggs? The toad complained. Panting heavily, Yi Shao finally reached the chamber where the undying phoenix was imprisoned. The phoenix's eyes widened. What? You actually got it. A mere level 40 human, crossing the heart of the molten inferno. Yi Xiao gave an awkward grin. Stealing eggs? No big deal. It's not my first time. Suddenly, a pillar of magma shot into the sky, followed by a thunderous roar. Wretched mortal, you shattered my statue and dared to touch that egg. Your crime is unforgivable. I will tear you apart with my own hands. Prepare to face the wrath of a god. The molten waves surged toward Yi Xiao, and the undying phoenix shouted urgently, "Human, go! Hephaestus is almost here. Once he arrives, you won't escape. Take my child and get as far away as you can. When he grows strong, let him tear those vermin apart." Yi Xiao weighed his options. Without Momoka here, facing the fire god alone would be a gold-draining nightmare, even with a money shield. "So you're saying there's really no way for me to break your seal?" he asked. "There is, but you are far too weak. Even the strongest of your kind might not have a chance to help me." The phoenix motioned. "Do you see those two marks wreathed in black mist? Those are divine seals. They must be broken simultaneously to release me, but no mortal can open them." Yi Xiao smirked, pulling out the horn of Berserk. "Doesn't sound that bad. You're telling me not even this can do the trick?" The undying phoenix was stunned. "That's the horn of destruction. You actually possess such a divine relic? But one alone isn't enough. Both seals must be broken simultaneously, which means you'd need two divine artifacts." "Two artifacts. I don't have that, but..." Yi Xiao pulled out a cool-down stone. "With this, I can unleash the power of destruction twice in a row." The phoenix couldn't hide its astonishment. "Unbelievable. Where does a mere mortal get so many bizarre treasures?" The fire god's voice thundered again, dripping with scorn. "Wretched human, the great fire god has descended. Prepare to face my wrath. To be torn apart by my own hands is the highest honor of your pitiful life. Your divine essence, and that beast, will become my nourishment." With danger closing in, Yi Xiao had no other choice. He gripped the horn of Berserk tightly. There was no way he was letting that old fire god have his way. Alongside the horn, he brought out the cool-down stone, wielding both artifacts at once. "I don't care what kind of god you are, Bray." The undying phoenix stared in disbelief. This mortal was actually daring to go head-to-head with Hephaestus. Suddenly, a towering figure appeared behind Yi Xiao. It was none other than the fire god, Hephaestus, glaring down at him with a lofty, disdainful gaze. "Human, offer up your pitiful life. The great fire god has descended. Kneel before me." At that moment, the undying phoenix shattered the chains that bound it and lunged straight at Hephaestus. "Hephaestus, you've come at the perfect time." Hephaestus's expression twisted in disbelief. "Impossible. How did you break free from those chains? You couldn't have shattered the seal." The phoenix roared. "Wretched false god, you will pay for your crimes. Only your filthy blood can wash away my humiliation." From the sidelines, Yi Xiao quickly ducked for cover. "Holy crap. This is way above our pay grade. Toad hide." Hephaestus raised his massive hammer in defiance. "After all these years sealed away, your essence drained, I doubt you have much strength left. Despicable false god, I'll make you pay in blood." The phoenix bellowed back. Their clash erupted into a blazing inferno. The shockwave of heat blasted Yi Xiao clear off his feet, while the surrounding structures collapsed in flames. He instantly activated his money shield to survive. In the clash, one of Hephaestus's arms was melted clean off. The undying phoenix snarled. "Now you know what it feels like to be melted alive. You traitor! How dare you defy a god? To call yourself a god? You're not worthy." In next instant, the phoenix's wings slashed down, cutting Hephaestus clean in half. Even as he fell, Hephaestus roared, "No, impossible." Yi Xiao stood frozen. Those phoenix claws are brutal. The fire god got shredded just like that." The toad quipped, "You just stole its kid. What if it decides to snip you in half too?" Yi Xiao quickly hugged the phoenix egg tighter and laughed nervously. Total misunderstanding. Here, you can have your egg back." "Misunderstanding? What misunderstanding?" I should be thanking you. The phoenix replied, surprisingly calm. Then it gifted Yi Xiao 2 drops of false god's blood. Divine blood. The mighty god of craft and fire, Hephaestus, had existed on the lost continent for tens of thousands of years. His blood runs rich with divine essence. Yi Xiao grinned. Ah, you're making me blush. The undying phoenix explained. This divine blood will help you hatch my offspring. So that was it. It wanted Yi Xiao to find a way to hatch the phoenix hatchling. You've helped me break the seal, and I'm grateful. This place is about to collapse, and news of Hephaestus's fall will spread quickly to them. Why child is in your hands. We must leave at once. At that critical moment, Yi Xiao said, hold on, I haven't looted the gear yet. The phoenix let out a helpless sigh. Just shattered junk? What's the point? Come on, this is loot from the fire, God himself. In a way, I'm leaving it. Yi Xiao chuckled, picking up Hephaestus's staff. Even broken, it's an epic grade weapon if I can fully restore it. It could be god tier. As the rumble of collapsing stone grew louder, the phoenix urged him once more to get moving. In a grand divine hall, many gods stood gathered, including Hephaestus himself. His crimson eyes burned with fury. I have lost an avatar. One god scoffed. It's only an avatar. Why make such a fuss? Hephaestus growled. It was the avatar guarding the undying phoenix. If my senses are correct, that realm has already collapsed. The other gods erupted. The undying phoenix is critical to our plan. We sacrificed divine essence to seal it away. And now you tell us that realm has fallen. Hephaestus, you had better give us a satisfactory explanation. Another god snarled. Fool, Hephaestus, you're worthless. You deserve death. A horned god stepped forward. After all these years of extraction, the source energy should be sufficient. Now, we need to find the root of this problem. Meanwhile, outside the fire god's palace, Momoka anxiously waited for Yi Xiao. Watching the collapsing palace, she muttered under her breath, Don't tell me that brat died in there. In the next moment, Yi Xiao and the undying phoenix suddenly appeared in midair. Momoka gasped, Brat, you're actually alive? Yi Xiao grinned. Hey sis Tao, you sound disappointed I didn't die. Then she caught sight of the phoenix behind him, her words faltering in shock. Brat, you've gotten yourself mixed up with a creature of that level. The phoenix folded its wings, then spread them wide in a powerful beat before soaring away like a streak of light. Its voice echoed as it left. Mortal, take good care of my offspring. We will meet again. Farewell for now. The two of them stood together, holding up the massive phoenix egg. Momoka stared. You brought this out of the fire god's palace? You actually made it out alive. With a phoenix egg? That's like your ancestors' graves are billowing smoke from good luck. Yi Xiao smirked. Guess you're right. .my biggest talent is having unbreakable luck. Brat, what other treasures did you snatch? Let your sister have a look. Yi Xiao's grin widened. Plenty here, check this out. This is divine blood. Then the system chimed frowny-faced Ding. You have bathed in divine blood and gained the fire god's divinity. Ding! The infusion of divinity has activated the potential of your god of wealth class. Class advancement successful. Ding! The infusion of divinity has activated the potential of your beast god master class. Class advancement successful. The toad congratulated him gleefully. Brat, with your god of wealth class leveling up, this great lord's power just got a boost too. On top of that, Yi Xiao's class skills received a massive upgrade. Wealth Unbound now increased his gold income by 2% every day. So good that even Buffett would have to bow to him. Several of his innate talents also leveled up to Tier 2. Yi Xiao couldn't help marveling. This was game-breaking. With his special talent Infinite Beast Mastery, even a King Tier beast, if trained to its peak, could evolve into a mythical beast. Just then, the phoenix egg in his arms gave a sudden shake. Yi Xiao instantly noticed the change, his eyes locked onto it. Could it be the phoenix egg was starting to hatch? It turned out the phoenix egg was meant to hatch 72 hours later, but Yi Xiao's boosted divinity after his class advancement had triggered the hatching early. With that in mind, Yi Xiao decided it was time to head home and readily promised to pay Momoka her commission. The two then made their way back to Windleaf City. As they passed the blacksmith's shop, a furious shout rang out from inside. "If you keep bothering me, I won't be polite. I'll hammer you to death." They stepped inside to see what was going on. There, they spotted the city lord wearing an odd set of clothes. Yi Xiao tilted his head. "City lord, what's with the get-up? Some kind of role play? What happened?" The city lord stammered. "Well, it's a long story." A guard nearby quickly explained. "Lord Yi Xiao, you don't understand. Our city lord has his reasons. He's only doing this for the sake of rebuilding Windleaf City. Ever since he brought the dwarves here, the city lord has tried every means to get them to help rebuild the main city. But those dwarves are stubborn. They won't even talk to him." Yi Xiao still didn't see how that connected to the lord's bizarre outfit. The guard sighed. The city lord was desperate, so he tried to appeal to their tastes. "We heard the dwarves have a particular fondness for rice." Yi Xiao blinked. "Wait, so the city lord is cosplaying as rice? Just how much pressure is he under to come up with a brainwave this ridiculous?" Yi Xiao waved him off. "Go tell the city lord to change clothes, that I'll handle the dwarves." "Understood. With Lord Yi Xiao helping. That's a relief. I'll tell him right away." Glancing toward the blacksmith shop, Yi Xiao muttered, "These dwarves really are stubborn." Hearing the commotion, Sol thought it was the city lord again and shouted angrily, "You again? If you keep coming, I won't be polite. Even if you're Yi Xiao's friend, I'll smash you." But when the door opened, it was Yi Xiao himself. Sol's expression shifted, and he quickly asked, "So, you found the Fire God's palace?" Upon hearing that Yi Xiao had entered the Fire God's palace, Sol immediately asked him to take him there as well. Yi Xiao refused. "The palace has already collapsed. Besides," he pulled out a staff. The moment the dwarves saw it, they all dropped to one knee. "You hold the Fire God's staff. You are the Fire God's chosen messenger. Yi Xiao, please lead our dwarven kin and guide us." This worked perfectly in Yi Xiao's favor. He immediately asked them to remain in Windleaf City and help rebuild it. "We will follow the messenger's guidance." Sol replied solemnly. "I'll inform the rest of the clan at once. By the way, Sol, I have a few pieces of gear that need forging." "No problem, messenger. However many you want, consider it done." All right. Jokes aside, don't make light of the gods. Get going now." Meanwhile, the city lord, still fretting over the city's reconstruction, had once again dressed himself in a ridiculous outfit, this time as a giant sesame bun. He muttered to himself, "Maybe if I dress up as a bun, I'll finally win the dwarves' favor?" Just then, a guard rushed in to report, "City lord, the dwarf Sol has already left with Yi Xiao. The dwarves have started helping with the reconstruction of the main city." The city lord's eyes lit up with excitement. "Really? Then my persistence must have finally moved them." The guard coughed awkwardly. "Ahem, actually it was Lord Yi Xiao who convinced the dwarves." "What? I've been struggling for days without success, and he comes back and fixes it in minutes. How'd he pull that off?" "I'm not sure, my lord. All I know is that Lord Yi Xiao said a few words, and Sol agreed happily. Didn't seem like anything special." Meanwhile, at the ducal estate, a group of royal envoys addressed the Duchess. "My lady, Yi Xiao is being far too arrogant. We came here as royal envoys under orders from Prince Kalami himself, yet we cannot even meet him. Without that, we can't proceed with granting the title." The Duchess frowned. "So, you're trying to use Prince Kalami's name to pressure me, is that it?" One envoy smiled obsequiously. "My lady, you know full well Prince Kalami is deeply devoted to you, that if you would just agree to visit and have a private talk with him, this matter would be resolved easily. Go back and tell him to give up that foolish idea. If that's your stance, then you're putting me in a very difficult position." Yi Xiao suddenly appeared at the doorway, his voice cold. "A problem? Then don't bother solving it." The Duchess's eyes lit up in relief. "You're finally back." Yi Xiao smiled. "Dear Sophia, am I late?" One of the envoys sneered. "So you're Yi Xiao, disappearing for days before showing your face. You think you're some big shot? Turns out you're nothing special, a skulking rat who's not even a fraction of Prince Kalami." The Duchess snapped. "Albert, watch your tongue. Yi Xiao is the hero who saved Windleaf City. He is not to be slandered. Yi Xiao rolled his shoulders and cracked his knuckles. Lucky for you. I'm in a good mood today. Felt like killing someone for fun. Albert scoffed. Big talk. Do you have any idea that just these words are enough to? Before he could finish, Yi Xiao's fist smashed into his face. Looking down at the fallen envoy, Yi Xiao smirked. Oops, guess I hit a little too hard. Yi Xiao's gaze swept over the rest of the envoys. Anyone else have something to say? They all waved their hands frantically. No, no, no. Albert insulted you, my lord, and even threatened both of you. He got exactly what he deserved. That's right, for standing up like that. My lord, your sense of justice is admirable. Please, accept our respect. Yi Xiao tilted his head. So, which of you can finalize my title? One envoy quickly stepped forward. My lord, I'm the deputy here. Your title is absolutely no problem. We can sign the documents and assign your territory immediately. Seeing the matter settled, the Duchess smiled warmly. Yi Xiao, you really know how to get things done. Moments later, a game-wide announcement rang out. Yi Xiao had officially been granted the title of Viscount of the Dragon Phoenix Empire, with an extra 2 hours of game time for himself, plus 10 minutes for all players in the Daxiao region, and plus 30 minutes for Windleaf City players. The player base erupted with excitement. Extra playtime? This is amazing. Our advantage just got huge. We can power up so much faster now. Long live Yi Xiao, the god-tier player. Damn, if he ever starts recruiting underlings, I'm signing up. This is the future #1 faction, walking sideways through doomsday from now on. The Duchess then informed Yi Xiao, since you convinced the dwarves to settle in the main city, many people are now offering high prices for your shops. Do you want to meet them? Naturally, Yi Xiao wasn't going to say no. This was free gold being delivered to his door. Sure enough, outside the ducal estate, a large crowd of buyers had gathered. When they saw Yi Xiao emerge, they rushed forward. Lord Yi Xiao, over here. I've got 90 million ready. Can we trade first? I've got a whole billion. Step aside. Boys, let me talk to Lord Yi Xiao first. Yi Xiao raised a hand with a grin. Gentlemen, no need to rush. Selling the shops isn't a problem, but you'll have to pay more. To his surprise, his words only fueled the crowd's enthusiasm. More money. Name your price. No matter how much, I'll buy it. Here's a deposit. Please, Lord Yi Xiao, take it. That's right. Whatever Lord Yi Xiao says, that's the price. I'm buying the shop. Me too. Lord Yi Xiao, take this first. If it's not enough, I'll sell my mansion. At that moment, the system notified him. Wealth Unbound has triggered. Gold reserves increased. Back in the real world, Yi Xiao scrolled through his phone, reading countless posts and news stories about his exploits that he even spotted a report that several foreigners had arrived in his area. Yi Xiao frowned. Foreigners? What are they doing here? The world announcement just happened, and they've already made it to Jiangsheng. That's fast. He was certain these people were here for him. But what they didn't know was that something big was going to happen tonight. Suddenly, lightning flashed and thunder rolled across the real world. Some players were mid-combat in-game when they were forcibly logged out. A strange power even began to surge within some of their bodies. Only Yi Xiao understood. This was the moment when the game and reality would merge. The system prompted him to choose a skill to extract into reality, and without hesitation, he chose Money Shield. Just as I thought. Once a player reaches level 10, they can extract one skill. Pumping his fist, he grinned. And the in-game stats come with it. Time to settle some old scores. Yi Xiao then leapt from the balcony of his multi-story home. The killing is only just beginning. Gradually, others began to realize the truth, that the game and reality had merged. No way. Doomsday has actually come to the real world? Are those twisted monsters going to show up too? Some players sneered darkly. I've had enough of life anyway. Let it all burn. I just picked the backstab skill. Tomorrow, I'm giving my boss 2 in the gut. By now, Yi Xiao had arrived alone at the Yi Group's villa district. Suddenly, 3 men stepped out to surround him. Finally caught someone. Today's our payday, boys. Hand over everything valuable. or I'll smash your legs. And just so you know, my buddy here is a level 11 player in Doomsday that you'd better not push your luck. Yi Xiao smirked in disdain. There's still so many idiots in the world. Yi Xiao's hand clamped around the red-clad man's neck. One sharp crack, and the man dropped lifeless to the ground. The other two thugs lunged at him in panic. In less than 3 minutes, Yi Xiao had both of them sprawled out on the pavement. He shook his head. Pathetic. And you think you're fit for robbery? Meanwhile, inside the villa, a crowd of men and women were partying hard. Music blaring, bodies swaying. Several executives raised their glasses in celebration. Let's toast to this historic moment. The Yi Consortium's massive investment in Doomsday has finally paid off today. Suddenly, the villa doors burst open with a deafening kick, and the dancers froze in shock. The intruder was Yi Xiao. Wearing a mask, he scanned the room. Good, aside from a few old relics. Most of you are here. Saves me the trouble of hunting you down. Yi Lin, heir apparent to the Yi group, scoffed. Where'd this bum come from? Crashing our party with a mask on. Huh. Were you some weirdo like that poop eating a roll? Yi Xiao slowly removed his mask, a smirk curling his lips. Yi Lin, you can't even recognize my voice? The room gasped. Yi Xiao? Wasn't he killed in a car accident? Yi Lin smirked dismissively. Oh, it's you? Not clinging to that Lu woman anymore? What's the matter? Ran out of money. Want Big Brother to give you a handout. Yi Xiao's voice was cold. I'm here today to get one answer. 10 years ago, the car accident that killed my parents, was your family involved? Pathetic. You only dare to ask now. Fine, then I'll tell you. A man beside him quickly interjected. Yi Lin, you're drunk. Don't say another word. Yi Xiao's fist smashed into the man's temple, killing him instantly. His gaze swept the room like a blade. When I'm asking questions, you'd better not interrupt. Tell me the truth, word for word, and I might let you die quickly. Seeing him kill with a single finger's effort, people began to suspect. Could he actually be that Yi Xiao from the game Doomsday? Yi Xiao didn't bother hiding it. You're not completely stupid. Yes, I'm that Yi Xiao. But Yi Lin scoffed. Yi Xiao? In Doomsday, you've lost your mind. Just because you share his name? Yi Xiao, I'll tell you right now. 10 years ago, I tampered with that car myself. So what? And then, boom. Too bad you didn't die in that crash. Yi Xiao's eyes turned blood red. You really are nothing but a filthy animal. Today, I'm sending you down to keep your dead parents company. Oblivious to the death looming over him, Yi Lin kept shouting, Whoever kills him, I'll reward you with a piece of dark gold gear. But everyone who had witnessed Yi Xiao's power before ignored him completely. Yi Xiao stepped forward, seizing Yi Lin's fingers in a crushing grip. Don't worry. You won't die quickly. I'll break every bone in your body, one by one. A sharp crack rang out as Yi Lin's fingers were snapped. Then Yi Xiao's foot came down hard. Another sickening crunch as his arm bones shattered. At that moment, true fear finally filled Yi Lin's eyes. Why you can't kill me? Yi Xiao's voice was ice. Animal, go to hell and apologize to them yourself. With that, his foot came down, bursting Yi Lin's skull like a watermelon. The onlookers were pale with shock. This was sheer brutality. The heir to the Yi group, gone just like that. But some of the crowd shouted, Good riddance. Uncle Yi was such a good man, and this beast murdered him. That's right. I've hated him for years. If I'd known the truth back then, I'd have been the first to kill him and avenge uncle and auntie. Yi Xiao's gaze was as cold as steel. Cut the act. Not one of you is leaving here alive. Then, the slaughter began. Moments later, Yi Xiao wiped the blood from his face. 10 years of hatred, 2 lifetimes, and today, it's finally settled. Elsewhere in the Villa District, a blond man smashed a bar counter with one punch, laughing in delight. Ha, boss, my strength is insane. I freaking love Doomsday. That's right. Our stats now could take down an entire armed battalion without breaking a sweat. But the man in sunglasses warned, Don't get cocky. Yi Xiao is already level 40, and he's strong. So what? 5 of us against one of him. We'll crush him. I'll make him beg on his knees before we're done. Just then, The wall of their room exploded outward under a powerful strike, leaving a massive hole. Yi Xiao stepped through, smirking. No need to wait. I'm already here. The men stared in shock. How did you find us? Yi Xiao sneered. You think the likes of you can backstab me in the real world? Any questions? Asked the King of Hell. With that, he launched himself forward, fist swinging. Even together, they were no match for him. After killing everyone who needed killing, Yi Xiao set the entire villa district ablaze. The streets outside were in chaos. Someone shouted, "The police are here!" A squad of heavily armed officers approached Yi Xiao. One man stepped forward. Yi Xiao. Hello, I'm Li Huan, governor of Jiangcheng. I'm here to request your help. Can we speak in private? He gestured to the disorder all around. As you can see, the city is in chaos. I want you to help restore order to Jiangcheng. What do you say? Yi Xiao replied. I can agree, but I have conditions. Soon, on the Doomsday forums, players noticed that Yi Xiao's account had been officially verified, signaling that the Daxiao region would be much more stable from now on. The news caused an uproar. Back in the game, Yi Xiao overheard players chatting about him. You have no idea how chaotic it was. Thank God Yi Xiao stepped in to calm things down. Yeah, he's a real hero. Without him, Jiangcheng would have been a complete disaster. Yi Xiao made his way to the blacksmith shop to find the dwarf Soul. He handed Soul a blueprint. It was for an epic grade item, the Beast God's Claw. Yi Xiao asked if Soul could forge it. After examining it, Soul nodded. As long as the materials are ready, and with proper enhancement afterward, this could be upgraded to artifact level, that it's probably part of a set too. Hearing this, Yi Xiao pulled out another blueprint. Exactly, I also have the Beast God's Helm. So, if we craft them together, how long will it take? If Doolin and I work together, Soul replied, we can finish in about 3 days. Yi Xiao nodded. Good, I'll be back in 3 days to pick them up. With that, he turned and left. Next, Yi Xiao visited a beast-taming shop. The shopkeeper eyed the toad and praised. Lord Yi Xiao, your beast looks so majestic and brimming with spiritual energy. The toad immediately snapped. You're his beast? Your whole family's his beast. Yi Xiao's purpose this time was to purchase high-quality spirit fruits for beasts. He didn't hold back, buying up every tier 4 and tier 5 spirit fruit in the store. Looking at the pile of fruits, he wondered if it would be enough to hatch the phoenix egg. Opening Little Gray's stat panel, he was stunned. Its attributes had skyrocketed so much that some values were now hidden from view. By then, Little Gray had eaten so many spirit fruits, it was hiccuping. Bored, Yi Xiao decided to take it out for a walk. They headed to the mysterious jungle. Little Gray immediately resumed its monster hunting spree. With its newfound strength, it took down the corrupted boss, the Treant Giant, in just a few moves, leveling up to 41 in the process. Yi Xiao patted Little Gray with a grin. Not bad. Another level up, though the XP needed past level 40 is getting ridiculous. Come on, let's head deeper in and pull more monsters at once. Other players, staring at the world rankings with Yi Xiao still at the top, muttered, finally, his leveling speed has slowed. 2 days for just 1 level. You sound proud. He's level 40. Do you think that's anywhere near the same grind as level 10? Don't be absurd. When we get there, it'll probably take a month or 2 per level. So hitting level 100 might take, over a decade? Oblivious to the chatter, Yi Xiao kept farming monsters with Little Gray. The toad suddenly piped up. Hey brat, the phoenix egg should be about ready to hatch. Yi Xiao quickly pulled the egg from his inventory. Sure enough, the shell was trembling faintly. Cracks began to spread across its surface. A second later, the entire shell split open, flooding the area with dazzling light. As a beam shot into the sky, a phoenix emerged in full glory. Staring at the phoenix, Yi Xiao marveled. Whoa! So this is the beast that's been around for centuries but never managed to hatch. Checking the undying divine phoenix's stat panel, he was stunned. Even stronger than Little Gray. Burning heaven flames, meteoric descent, soul shattered. This was a full-on god of AoE attacks. Talk about the perfect gift at the perfect time. He patted the phoenix's feathers, starting the naming ritual. Back in the Fire God's temple, your father gave you the name Luo Huang. Honestly, it sounds awful. How about Little Flame instead? No, not in a little flame? Then Little Red? Little Flower? Seeing the phoenix reject every suggestion, Yi Xiao finally gave up and kept the original name, Luo Huang. Just then, he noticed something was off with Little Gray. A strange, hazy cloud of poison was spreading across the area. Poison gas. Don't tell me. Venom rats? Those disgusting pests could spit venom and inflict continuous poison damage. Little Gray immediately responded with a barrage of flames at the swarming rats. Yi Xiao shouted while retreating, "Little Gray, don't waste time killing, run." Countless venom rats swarmed toward Yi Xiao. I knew it, venom rats, and this many. Run. In no time, Yi Xiao was completely surrounded. Realizing escape was impossible, he gritted his teeth and decided to fight to the end. He ordered the undying divine phoenix, show them what real firepower is, burning heaven flames. A torrent of flames erupted, and the venom rats' HP plummeted rapidly. Watching them burn, Yi Xiao couldn't help but grin. Man, this looks just like setting off fireworks. By the time the phoenix was done, Yi Xiao had leveled up to 43, Little Gray to 42, and the phoenix itself to level 13. The speed of the gains made Yi Xiao exclaim, "This is insane." Meanwhile, players monitoring the world rankings were stunned. Yi Xiao had gained 2 levels in just one day, and only minutes later, his level shot up again, straight to 47, after wiping out every venom rat within a 1-mile radius. Yi Xiao led Little Gray and the undying divine phoenix deeper into the wilds, aiming for level 50. The trio tore through monsters, their levels skyrocketing. Within no time, the phoenix hit level 42, while both Yi Xiao and Little Gray reached level 48. Just then, Yi Xiao received a system notification. Opening it, he discovered the Beast God set was complete. He decided to call it a day and returned to Windleaf City to check it out. Soul presented the gear with both hands, saying solemnly, "Allow me to introduce this masterpiece." During forging, they had discovered a hidden feature. The Beast God's claw could toggle its appearance on or off while equipped. Intrigued, Yi Xiao immediately put on the Beast God's claw. Soul then produced the other piece, the Beast God's helm. The moment Yi Xiao donned both, the set bonus was activated. And in that instant, he felt overwhelmingly powerful. After picking up his new gear, Yi Xiao stepped onto the main street, only to overhear people saying something big had happened in Shuei City, that it had been attacked. Deciding he needed answers, he set off to find someone who might know more. Elsewhere, a guard informed Tao Xiangnai she had a visitor. She flatly refused to meet them. A second later, Yi Xiao appeared at her side. "Yo, Sister Tao, how could you ignore me? I also heard something's happened to Shuei City." She nodded gravely. "Yes, the area around Shuei City has been engulfed by gray mist. At this rate, the entire city could be covered. I've been researching it. According to ancient records from the Supreme Hall, this phenomenon seems tied to an evil god. This god specializes in spreading plagues and viruses, and is so vile it doesn't even have a temple." When Yi Xiao asked for its name, Tao Xiangnai's expression hardened. "Sekhmet, don't tell me you're planning to head to Shuei City. I'm warning you, stay out of this mess." Yi Xiao smirked. As the saying goes, fortune favors the bold. "Yeah, I'm planning to head to Shuei City." Tao Xiangnai blinked. "You're serious? Then I'll go with you. Supreme Hall has tasked me with investigating this anyway. That will leave first thing tomorrow. I just need time to activate the teleportation array to Shuei." Soon after, Yi Xiao browsed the game forums and saw posts from players claiming the gray mist in Shuei caused rapid HP loss on contact, killing them outright. Others said the city's NPCs were packing up and leaving. Then came more reports. Other major cities were also showing strange, abnormal signs. Yi Xiao frowned, wondering, just what is this evil god planning?